can do.
My God can do and no man.
I will lift him up.
My God can do and no man.
I will lift him up.
My God can do and no man.
I will lift him up.
My God can do and no man can do.
You can do what no man can do. And what to say is just a fact. No other God besides you, Jesus. Your word is so strong, it moves the mountain. Faithful God, you are faithful God. You are worthy of my praise. You were true, you were true, you were true, you were true, you were true. You will do what no man can do. I will lift him up.
My God can do and no man.
I will lift him up. I will lift him up.
My God can do and no man can do.
Nothing else can take your place. No one else can take your place. What you say you will do, that is what you will do. No one can change your plans. No one can change your power. From age to age, you're still the same. From day to day, you are still the same. From Monday to Sunday, you really did the same. Oh God, you will do what no one can do. My God can heal any sickness, oh. My God can heal anybody, yeah. My God can do any miracle. Yeah. My God can do what no man can do. Ooh, I will lift him up.
My God can do and no man.
I will lift him up.
Good evening to welcome our viewers.
I will lift him up.
My God can do and no man.
I will lift him up.
Okay, let's see here. My guest here is calling. We've been having a little bit time difficulty here. Let's see here. Okay, Dr. Whapoe is on the line. Doug, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. CEO, and good morning to our listeners.
Okay, thank you so much. We've been having a little bit technical issue here, but notwithstanding you here, so let's just get it going. We know we're extremely late in Liberia, so but it is that's part of the 3 a.m. call when you become the president if you are elected as president of the Republic of Liberia. Dr. Jeremiah Whapoe of Vote is on the line, joining me in this early morning hour from the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Dr. Whapoe, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, and good morning to our listeners.
Okay. So quickly here, let's hear from you. We saw a position statement. Let's start. We'll come to that here. But give a little bit run through here. What is the status of your political party, the Vote? This party has been around for a long while. We are in the injured and strapped of this process. How far is it? How far is your party? What is the preparation so far?
Well, we are fully prepared, more stronger than you imagine. We are going for convention on Friday. This Friday, which is the 3rd through the 4th, we'll be having convention in St. J. Grand Cape County. People are coming from all walks of life. This is going to be an unusual convention because usually when folks are having convention, it's a few handful of people, but this convention, when it comes to vote convention, people like to come and observe because of the message. Um, Besides our electoral process during the convention, we are going to display how are we going to lead the government when we win the election, so Liberian people can be informed of what we have in stock for them. So all of those will be going on at the convention. So people are coming from all walks of life across Liberia as we speak. People are on their way from Grand Jude, Sino. Those from Riwaji have already arrived. Those from Grand Crew have already arrived, but the Grand Jude and Sino people are yet to reach in town. And I think we're going to have a great time because people get acclimated and to the message. The message is very phenomenal to the Liberian people because it is achievable, it's attainable, and the vision is clear.
So let's get a sense. If how many delegates are we expect? How many delegates expected to this convention?
Each county is bringing about 15 delegates. So you multiply the 15 by the number of counties we have in Liberia, 15 counties. Those are the eligible delegates that are going to vote at the convention. We are expecting over 9,000 people at the convention.
9,000 people. Are we sort of trying to inflate the figure here? But we being real with the Liberian people.
No, trust me. If you have a correspondent on the ground, please send them to Sinjay. The whole of Sinjay, Grand Kimakande, going to 10 grand. I'm telling you, when it is vote convention, it's nothing to joke with. We are inviting a few people for the convention, but each time we invite few people, people come upon, they take upon themselves and come. I'm not inflating any figure yet. I will strongly encourage you to send your observer. If you have correspondent on the ground, send them to Sinjay.
So the last time we have a conversation here, you were part of an alliance, the Rainbow Alliance or Rainbow Coalition. Is that coalition still alive?
Well, unfortunately, the coalition is still alive, but we have disengaged. And the reason happened to be that our advocacy in Liberia to becoming the next change agent in Liberia does not permit us to wash our hands in dirty waters, meaning that we don't want to go to bed with a ruling party. So there were some figures in the Rainbow Alliance while we were planning to put a cohesive team together. They were going on the side, having dinner with CDC and taking money from them, all that kind of stuff. And we want to we want for our hands to remain clean. So therefore, we disengage.
So what were the factors I considered initially before even forming part of this coalition? Because you were here at Goodrich, you both defended the positions that the alliance will be together to the day end, and there seems to be some guarantee. Here we are now. The histories of political parties forming alliances and a coalition, it has never held in Liberia, and the history is proving it right again. So, so what is vote next decision? What is the next game of playing as we speak?
Well, Alfonso, it is very, very sad in Liberia. People, almost all of the political parties that in Liberia that want to vie for the presidency is a great idea. But something that I think they are not patriotic is that if all the great ideas you guys have, you ought to come together and go debate the issue in front of Liberian people. Don't go for primaries from county to county. Debate the issue. They will have this union and go with the issue, and the person Liberian people prefer, the person can be the standard bearer of our union. And a lot of people are scared because they do not have that innovative pedigree where they will be able to bring ideas on the table that Liberian people will buy. So therefore, they scare away. They scare away, and that is one of the causes of the multiplicity of political parties in Liberia. Do they have membership? I can't say so. Most of them don't. Do they have even party headquarters? I can't say so. Some of them, most of them don't. But instead of working with people, some of them put the political parties together so they can maybe one way or the other join other political groupings to take money from them because they have money. And all of these things, I think I alluded to not being nationalistic, as well as due to poverty, because everybody is looking for something out there to grasp. Unlike our institution, we have principle-minded people who go strictly by the book, what we wrote in our constitution and policy. That's what we go by. We are here to effect a change. If at all anything that will make the change and the vision blurry, we disengage, and that's exactly what we do. We're not trying to discredit anybody, but what we have in plan, how we need to transform Liberia. If we do not see it in any political institution, it makes it difficult for us to align with them. But however, as we speak, we are open to any collaboration, potential collaboration that will be able to deliver the aspiration of the Liberian people. We are looking forward to that. But what we cannot do is to just collaborate because we want to collaborate. No, we're not going to do it.
So, Dr. Whapoe, you went into an alliance that didn't work, and you still are looking out for some sort of collaboration. So, where is your political wheels turning right now?
Well, we don't want to be selfish. We are open, but as we speak, we are independent political institution. We are doing everything we can as a political institution to win the election. And one thing I can tell you is that we've done enough work on the ground. We have gotten acclimated to the people. They know us. They know what we stand for. And this is why, as I told you earlier regarding the convention, people are volunteering to come for convention. Like unlike our convention, most convention that is being held in Liberia, our citizens will come. They will get a sitting fee. They'll pay them and all of that kind of stuff. But I tell you what, our convention is voluntary. You come to the convention, pay your own way. You come and sit, get the message, and go and carry the message. And people are coming enthusiastically. Though things are difficult, but because of the resounding and beneficial message they are getting, they continue to come, and that's a good thing for us. And we strongly feel that our participation in the election will be phenomenal, and we'll have no party that will be. We will be second to none. I can tell you that much.
You are the front note. Is there something you're listening to here? I'm getting like a feedback here.
I'm not listening to anything. My room is very silent, quiet.
Okay.
The only thing here, yeah.
Yeah, we have had this conversation here before, right? And you are the founder of, I'm hearing conventions. Is there a challenger or you are the presumptive nominee to this convention? Is set up sort of ceremonial thing that we just going to see to say, yes, convention will held and Dr. Whapoe is the standard bearer of vote. Is there any challenger?
As of now, we have the convention election commission that is responsible. We opened it. It was on air. People who are interested in a position to run on the vote party ticket. The clear criteria there is that before you run on the party ticket, you have to be a member of the party 6 months prior to the election, to that convention, to the election. And we've opened it to all members in the party, and those who are interested, they will register. Like with me, I have registered with the neck of the convention. By tomorrow, the official listing of those who are registered will be out. That way, I will be able to be informed whether there's any contender. But as for now, I know that I have registered to contest for the presidency.
Meaning you are the presumptive nominee.
I cannot say that until I see the listing up tomorrow. But for now, I'm sure that I have registered. Maybe other people are registered. I cannot give any information about that until the NEC disclose the information tomorrow.
The fact remain here, and prove me wrong, with the multiplicities of the political parties in Liberia, it is very difficult to overcome of someone to say they're going to get a 51+1, meaning you have to form an alliance, form some sort of coalition, which of course it is not a good history in our political systems in Liberia. You have the CPP, Alexander Cumming versions, and that of Liberty Party. You have Joseph Newman Boyka, Unity Party with another segment of Liberty Party there. You have the ruling establishment coalitions is also in turmoil. Those three here, who have ever placed a phone call to Dr. Whapoe?
Well, to be frank, we've been engaged with the exception of the ruling party. We've been engaged by various political institutions here. But if you come into somebody to ask for collaboration, uh, you cannot bring the crumbs of the pie. You put everything on the table. We discuss how the collaboration will be done. Then we do that. But you cannot come for collaboration as if to say you come into somebody to be your surrogate. And this is if all is collaboration, it should be a win-win situation where we'll sit down and talk about. As we speak, we continue to engage like-minded political institutions where we will all sit down. With me, I believe in transparency. If I all will collaborate, not collaborate with one voice, well, we would take the ticket to the Liberian people. Let them decide who should run on that party ticket. And one that is done is great. But this negotiation based on the age of the political party or their longevity in the process or the value of cash they have, I don't think that's democracy. Democracy should be the will of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Lightman politicians. Is there any perfect example of the lightman politicians that you are referring to? Example of who?
Well, I cannot be specific at this time. I would say like this or that when we have reached a conclusion where we have decided to work with certain persons. Other than that, I mean, certain institutions. Other than that, we at this point we will say that we are talking to all of those that you named, including Unity Party, CPP, and other political groupings on the ground. But as you know, there's already disarray in CPP with two faction of the Liberty Party. One piece is on the other side, and the other piece is on the other side. Likewise, the ruling coalition, and we are looking at other institutions, including Unity Party, that once those are open.
Dr. Whapoe, why are you finding it difficult to see to tell us the party that you have lengthily engaged with? Example, ANC or Ambassador Boyka? You rule out CDC, so the possibility here could be ANC or Joseph Newman Boyka. Where is your political leaning?
This is what I'm saying. We cannot decisively say this is the institution we are aligning with. What we are doing right now, we are just discussing. So when you say like minds, that means your philosophy and that political party philosophy align with each other, and you guys are going into dialogue. But we are seeing some philosophy not written on paper, but ideology that some people might have that would not be syncing with the interests of the Liberian people. And once we see that, we flag that, or if they are willing to disassociate themselves with such a policy, that's something we're looking forward to work with. But anything less than seeking the interests of the Liberian people so they can be removed from this situation of dreaded poverty, I think we'll continue to disengage. But as we speak, we continue to talk to people and political institutions, and we look forward to seeing where we will be able to land safely, for the interest of the Liberian people. But like I told you, we stand a better chance on all indications. We stand a better chance with the level of what we've done over the years from one country to another, and people are enthusiastic, being tired with old politicians looking for change. I think we are the change agent, and we are standing by to taking over the country.
That's quite interesting. We literally 9-10 months to go to this process. If you talk to any opposition, they will tell you, say, this president will be a one-term. They do not want this president here. Dr. Whapoe, what is the political sacrifice are you willing to make if you were to form an alliance or coalition with any of these other political institutions, in your word, for the good or for better Liberia? Are you prepared to make a political sacrifice in terms of coming to a compromise if you were to form an alliance with any political party? If you talk to everybody,
look, any form of collaboration, any form of union, there should be some compromises. But you cannot do compromise at the detriment of your people. And one thing I can assure you that I am not desperate to become president of Liberia. I'm not desperate.
What are you? What are you desperate for?
What I'm desperate for is to see the poor child whose parent cannot afford to eat. I want to see that child eat at least 3 times a day to get out of poverty. I'm desperate to make sure that people who cannot afford health care, that when they take them to the hospital, they neglect them and put them on the floor or send them home. And at the end of the day, they die in cold blood because the government and its people have neglected to provide care for the people. Those are the people I'm desperate for, so that when they walk into the hospital, fund will be there so they can be treated and have second chance to go back home. Those are the people I'm desperate for. I am desperate so that people who cannot afford school fees for their children and they're telling that child, wait, next year when I get money, I will send you to school. I am so desperate to see that child to walk into the classroom. That's why their parents don't have money so they can have funding to go to school. Those are the things I'm desperate for. I'm not desperate to become president of Liberia, not at all. So what it means is that I'm willing to negotiate. I'm willing to compromise a personal interest and put forth the interests of the Liberian people.
And so, saying this, you are opening a womb of other conversation. Yet you are from a very strategic block in terms of putting someone at the finishing line. Nima County. Do you see yourself here as for the interest of the Liberian people? Do you see yourself, if need be, the going gets tough and the tough gets going? Are you willing to take the second positions? If that's the case, if you are so desire for the Liberian people?
Look, I'm not a fanatic of answering hypothetical questions. But one thing I can assure you that is Nimba Kande. Not only Nimba, let me tell you, Nimba is my birth county. I know that I'm going to win Nimba County with resounding vote in the election. But besides Nimba County, as a good political product of Liberia, the Western cluster, the Western Liberia have already endorsed my candidacy for the presidency, meaning that Grand Cape County, Bombing County, and Whapoe County, they have already fallen on my side. And as we are moving deeply in Bon County to winning the Bon County vote. Last election, I got significant vote as a winner in the River Sales County. I'm looking forward to winning River Sales again. So with all of these numbers being crunched out, the possibility of us being on top of the ticket is very, very easy. So we're looking forward to that. However, like we said, anything we do it for Liberia. I am pretty sure that if anybody comes, nobody has a better dream in Liberia to deliver the Liberian people better than me. I don't trust anybody more than I trust myself to deliver the Liberian people. So there's still a room for discussion, but the person that will be calling Jeremiah Whapoe to be his running mate, we'll let to see the political pedigree that they are putting on the table that will be able to succumb to that. Anything less than the interest of the Liberian people, not only by illusion or by delusion, but that will be very, very peculiar and visible to the Liberian people. A goal that will be attainable and achievable, a mission that will be clear, a vision that will be clear. Not anything less than that, we're not going to compromise for that. Because we stand a better chance to winning this election.
Prove me wrong here. I have argued on this network. You got your education from here. In most cases, for the most part, the conclusions of a party national convention, we see the standard bearer lifting the hands of a running mate. You are going in a Western cluster, Dr. Whapoe. If you become the nominee at that convention, will we see hand being lifted as your number 2 person?
No, I won't. I won't do it at a convention. The number 2 person will be. I will have a vetting committee in the political party where Liberian people and the people of the party will bring potential candidates, and they will be vetted through a process that has been set up, and they will make a recommendation of few names to me, and from those names, that will be team or term qualified. I'll be able to make a choice from those being vetted already. But at this point in time, we are not going to pronounce any running mate at the convention. It will be later, sooner than later.
What I know you very well. You've been in the advocacy for a while, but when someone becomes a politician, I draw a sort of red line here. So And everything I've been hearing from you, Liberia, Liberia, Liberia. Are you willing, if you become a nominee, to go outside of your party for the good of the country?
Sincerely, in fact, we have a such clause in our constitution that once you are a nominee, what matters is not a political party that matters. What matters is the person that you are going to nominate. Number one is the person Liberian, great, is the person of noble character. Yes, is the person has a pristine character that Liberian people will be able to hinge on for the change. Yes, if the person does and have other those characteristics, what's the biggie? We will go with that person. We are not too interested whether the person has to come from the vote party. The person can come from anywhere in Liberia, but the person, characters and track record matters to us.
Let me get a pick out of you here. I know we saw the statement, but let me just take you back into Nima County. It was quite interesting. The sitting senator of Nima County recently, I literally indicted the very government he works in as a sitting senator. This is sort of weird that the government killed the EPS gentleman. I believe that happens in Tapeta. In Tapeta, yes, I believe you heard that statement. That is coming from a sitting senator of the Republic of Liberia, and he didn't even stop that. I called the government a sort regime. Can you ever see yourself getting down to that point? Because he's a senator. They are the first branch of government, both houses, and we just getting to know that. Should there be an investigation for Senator Johnson to tell us more what he knows about the killings of these Liberians?
Well, there's a saying in our wisdom. They say, who told you that they cannot pump cassava snake or the cobra? You can pump cobra, but what matters is who is going to hold the head to pump the cobra. Prince Johnson said these things. These are allegations that yet to be proven. But what happened is that Prince Johnson had been in bed with this government, and this government being so desperate to have a second term, they would do anything corrupt-wise to maintain their position. So to say that they will be having the guts and the willpower to call Senator Johnson to provide facts about what he has said, I found it very slim in happening. However, somebody like me, when we win this election, there are dead cases cases have been considered dead cases in Liberia will be rebirthed, and we're going to investigate. That's one of the few cases that you just talked about. One of the several cases in Liberia that you just talked about. We're going to investigate properly, and those who are responsible, who will be involved in the case, they will be brought to justice. I mean, in Liberia, what we are seeing in recent times is that there's a price tag on justice versus justice being blind. Everybody has put price tag on it. If you cannot afford the price tag, you don't have justice. I don't think it should be done that way. This is Liberia. That's how the government here is so corrupt, has been operating. When you talk about corruption, you don't only talk about embezzlement of money, but you can talk about moral corruption, where people's attitude does not sync with their responsibility that's given to them in the government. And these are things that we are looking forward to getting rid of. So in nutshell, I for one, to say that this government will have the audacity to indict Senator Johnson to provide facts, or call him for hearing to provide facts, or what he has said, I found it very difficult to happen.
But that should be the responsibility, not the president, the lawmakers, their oversight committee. When someone makes a careless statement, we saw that happening from the chief of staff, who came out and told the Liberian people, not just only the Liberian people, the world at large, that they were calling on him to overthrow. He talked to people from Liberia, people from the diaspora, text messages. And I'm kind of surprised at like what's going on here. There was no committee, there was no investigation to summon the chief of staff, the defense minister, I believe. Chief of staff, Prince Johnson.
Chief of staff, I listened to that statement. I listened to that statement clearly, and we had an issue, press issue on it. We asked the Senate to invite the chief of staff to provide evidence of what he has said. If those things that he pronounced were true, then it's starting us to treason and to make sure those who were involved in no text message and no telephone calls be interrogated, and spend their days in the court of law. But it didn't happen. To me, I will, without doubt, without favor, I will strictly accuse the chief of staff that he the one had that intention, nobody else. If, as a top security in the country, if people make those kind of call, text messages to you, and you didn't disclose that, you didn't arrest them, you didn't do anything, then what kind of security are you providing for the presidency? So I mean, that was ludicrous. And the Senate and the legislations that we have here, I think they are just a rubber stamp institution, and they do what they want to do. They do what the president tells them to do. But to say that they know their function as lawmakers, as a house of parliament, as a house of elders, that is far from reality.
If you are elected eventually or potentially, you will deal with those things. Some of them, some will remain, some will be going. So obviously, you will be dealing with those people. And interestingly, it's bulk of those people, they are from the opposition bloc. So why are they behaving the way they are behaving? So can we also hold in that they do have shared responsibilities and not just only the executive, when they should be providing check and balances on the executive branch of government? That is not happening.
Alfonso, what is happening in Liberia is very pathetic. Anything that you want to do in your life, you should have a goal. And if you are able to articulate that goal and people find a shared interest in that goal before you ascend to that power, there's a potential that they will hold you responsible to go and discharge what you are promising. But in Liberia, it's counterclockwise. Nobody explain goals in the exploration and potential achievement that they want to have. Nobody explain what they do in the community is you go to wrong campaign, somebody instead of say, what are you going to do for? How are you going to do for? And so they can lay down those plans that what the vote party has. It's not like that. You go in the community, somebody will say, oh, we have a role here. Can you face our role? When you face our role, we'll vote for you. And you not knowing that person's plan and the goals that they are carrying, that what they want to achieve for you, you don't know it, but you're after instant gratification. And when that is done, those are the byproducts that you are seeing today, because these guys go into the parliament without articulating their vision. And as it can be exemplified in their vision and goals that they have it buried in their mind and carry there, is to enrich themselves versus advocate for the well-being of the Liberian people. So to say that the guys will be accountable, I don't know what they will be accountable for. What they want to do is to enrich themselves. For example, both houses, they take agricultural break. And I can tell you this straight. Now one of these guys have a farm in Liberia to say, I have rice farm, I have this farm. I'm going to spend the $30,000 given to for agricultural break. I'm going to spend it on it. So what do they spend on it when today in Liberia, poverty is striking Liberian people? We're using about $480 million just for the importation of rice in this country. We use about $23 million for the importation of pepper in this country. We use $18 million for the importation of peanuts in this country. We use another $18 million for the importation of oranges in this country. But yet we have parliament members who say they're going for agriculture break. Where are they going for the agriculture break? What are they doing? That is the irony that we have in our country. We have a soil, we have the forest, we have the rainfall, but yet we are the most hungriest country right now in Africa. Why is the problem? The problem is, the Bible surely said it, where there is no vision, my people perish. And this is why we are perishing in Liberia, because those who have come to ascend to the leadership, they do not have vision. What they have is that, like I tell everybody, if you want to see, do not intend to see with your eyes. When you see with your eyes, your vision is very limited. It has a limit. But when you see with your mind and ask yourself, what if it had been me? You have that counter transfer of feelings about the people whom you serve. You operate differently than what is happening like you.
With that said here, everything surrounding security. Let's say Dr. Jeremiah Whapoe becomes the next president of the Republic of Liberia. What would be the benchmark of your Attorney General, the Chief Prosecutor of the Republic of Liberia? He should be in the front line. What kind of police commissioners that you will appoint to protect lives and property? There should be good relation, the police and community relationship, all of these things here. What would be the benchmark of those kind of people that you're going to appoint in those sort of high-profile positions?
Look, Alfonso, what is happening in Liberia is not that we do not have good people in Liberia, but Liberia has become a place where good people come and spoil except you want to be exceptional, like some of us who will look at $1 million, somebody will put it in front of us for a job and say, close your mouth, don't talk again, we're going to give you a position. And we neglected that and stood our ground. Until you can find people like us in leadership, it will be difficult. Look,
why should we believe you? People have told us this story. People like us, people a lot. It has become repetitive in some of us ears, and so we just do not know who to trust. Why should we have person like you?
The reason is when you are looking for a leadership position, people don't judge you by what you do in present time. What you do in present time when you are looking for a leadership position is like using a poem to catch the knight or to catch the king or queen on the chessboard. So the only way you will judge a man to know whether he is real, he's authentic in his character, is to study him years back when he was not even thinking about that position. What do I mean? When Jeremiah Whapoe was a young man in Liberia at the age of 17, 18, when the Civil War started in Liberia, people of my age at the time, almost all of them were in jubilant position, mood, and to join the Civil War, to go and fight. But as young as I was farsighted. I found no reason that to fight anybody in Liberia, to kill anybody in Liberia, because we all look alike. Who am I going to kill? This is not Liberian fighting people from different countries or from the Western world or from the Asian world. We are all Liberian. I strongly felt at the time that there are more ways to solve problems than through the battle of gun. So I neglected that and I initiated. I am the father of human rights advocacy in Liberia. I introduced human rights advocacy, the first human rights advocacy group that ever registered in Liberia that was recognized by United Nations and the Republic of Liberia through the Foreign Ministry was my institution called Liberians United for Democracy in Africa. Okay, with that we were able to fight inhumane attitude in Liberia until the institution was left with people of trust. I traveled and went to the West for study. And when I was in the West for study, you know me, we all hung out with each other. I think you follow my behavior, my character, you know it very well. And besides that, I've been in advocacy all of the time, preaching the right thing, preaching for the truth. And secondly, I'm one person that I don't take bribe. I look out there for the people. It doesn't have to be me before it works. When it is somebody else and it works, let it work. And with this kind of character, when I'm ascend to power or I ascend to the position of authority, I think my character remains with me and it will be exhibited in any place I go. Versus people, we know them during their absence from leadership, or we know their character. Some of them were community thieves, and some of them participated in war. Mercilessly, they kill people. And today, they were poor. They have not handed $1,000 in their hand before. They are not done good work. Some of them were hunters. And these kind of people, when they come to power, what do you expect? What do you expect? They fought a self-aggrandizement and egotism and at the expense of the Liberian people. And this is not a character that is associated with Jeremiah. Had it been that, this particular government has offered me a job. They offer me. So you stop talking. We're going to give you a job. When they started, they wanted to offer me to become the chief administrator at the JFK Medical Center. To be the administrator. I told them no, because you guys going to set me up for failure, and I'm not going to do that. if I would make X, Y, Z demand, you don't provide it. Next year, Jeremiah.
Let me hold you.
All of them were in the government.
Let me hold you up right there. There was a call, and I'm going to do a follow-up question because we also get a tendency here to engage our onliners as part of their participation if they are not even calling in. You were called to serve your country, and you came to a conclusion that they were going to set you up. So why you didn't even take on the responsibility if you know that things were saying right, and they try to change or kind of like put you around, and then you can come back to the Liberian people? Well, I was called to duty to serve, but this is what I never anticipated this. Now you are coming to the conclusion. So on what basis should we concur with you that they were calling to set you up? They needed your help.
The first thing is that no, they didn't need my help. They didn't need it. The first thing is that when I was running for the presidency, I had a $20 billion United States dollars contract with foreign friends.
20 billion?
I did $20 billion contract. I had it with foreign friends. I had a contract with foreign friends, and the intent was to bring it to Liberia when I win. But when I didn't win, that contract was taken to the president's office. I sat with the Minister of States. I said, look, I didn't win the election, but this is government of Liberia. This contract I signed with my friends, and they are willing for us to bring for them to work with this government. But what they want to do is they want me to participate and be part of the process. So what we can do is, if we can invite these people to sit on the table, so we can see how these various benefits Liberian people can get, will be better. They neglected that just because it was Jeremiah Whapoe who was bringing that hope to the Liberian people. And they want to take.
You said they want you to participate. Why? In what context? In what form? What specifically? What?
Okay, from the genesis of the contract, they believed that when I win the election as a president, because of what they know of my character, number one, there will be no corruption. Number two, their business will be protected, and what have you. And it is because of me they wanted to do it, but I convinced them that no, it doesn't have to. I don't have to be involved. All you have to do, the government have rules and regulations to protect. Okay, we engaged in that, and they gave me the go ahead to introduce them to the government. But what the then Minister of State said is that instead of us inviting the people so we can sit on the table, I was in the office, and those young girls were all Minister, the man shouldn't stay long inside there. They make it outside. And all he has to tell me, okay, Whapoe, leave the contract here, I will call you. I said, no, I can't leave it here. When we're ready to discuss, call me, we'll discuss. And from that time until I'm speaking to you, they never made that call. Okay, they never made that call. So what will make me think that if I'm bringing $20 billion contract and you trashing it out as if to say it's not important?
That's huge. So was that Minister Mangio you're talking about?
That's correct. That's correct.
What sort of contract? What sort of contract is that? 20 billion, because my guess here to who brought maybe job opportunity. But let's play into that unknown contract. What actually was it?
Well, one of the things that the company was going to do is to digitize the entire city. We'll digitize the entire city. Secondly, they're going to build new infrastructure. When it comes to road network and all of those things were all involved in the contract, and the way, for example, the road network, what they wanted to do is to pave the whole of Liberia, and from there, they will collect their money through toll. The government doesn't have to give any money, but they will be responsible for the toll, and while they collect their money from the toll, certain percentage will be still going to the government. And all of these were inside. They were going to bring. They are going to. Pharmaceutical company are going to be sharing medicine, new invention with Liberia when it comes to not only medicine but equipment, medical equipment. Are going to be shared with Liberia as it's being invented. Are going to be shared with Liberia in the various hospital, meaning that we're not going to go out of any medical equipment anymore. We have that chain of supply within that contract. And all of those were trashed out.
Are you still in contact with those business tycoons?
Yeah, we are still in contact, and even this coming March of this year, I'm having two business guru from the United States, real estate guru to come. We are about to sign a multi-million-dollar contract so we can build affordable housing for the Liberian people. And what we plan to do in our initial discussion and what we are rating is that it is not something that they'll be doing business strictly with the government. My intention is to do business strictly with its ordinary citizens. So, for example, if you're an ordinary citizen, you have a piece of land that you want to build a house on and you cannot afford, you tell us, you will tell the company how many worth of building that you want to put on the ground. For example, you say, I want to put $25,000 building on this ground here. So what we're going to do is that we're going to sign a contract with that landowner, and the contract will say something like, okay, we're going to pay you $25,000 property here, and we expect you to pay the $25,000 within maybe 15 years, and the interest will be very, very low. But if the payment will be made on a monthly basis. If you miss at least 6 more in row without paying the money, what will happen is that
let's push a figure in the public domain. We know the cost of living, and people hardly get it to eat. You're going to be making the payment, people not even getting the jobs. So how much you're going to be paying?
Look, the payment, for example, the payment was going to be very, very, it depends on your income. This is how we did it.
So what happens to those who don't have income?
Well, why would you want to own a house if you don't have? Everybody in Liberia must have income. Even if you're a bidder boss seller, that's an income. You don't have to work for government to have income. Even if you're a willow market seller, that's an income. What we can do is to make sure that you have a cash flow. Once you have a cash flow, even if it costs you to pay $2 a month, you pay the $2 a month until that amount is paid. You own a house. You will be living in a house while you pay the $2. I think that's going to be a great help to develop this nation. That's a help that the banks are not offering. Right now in Liberia, the interest rate on a borrow amount at the bank is very high. It ranges between 15 to 30%. Is that helping people? People take loan for it to help them. But we were going to bridge that gap between the borrower, the consumer, and the bank by providing our own cash in millions of dollars to build these properties. And people who are left, for example, even if you're a hunter, if you're a regular hunter and you hunt and you have a cash flow, that's income. When we talk about income, you don't have to work for government. If the willow market have an income, we're going to make sure that there's a cash flow, and we will be able to, you will be able to pay. And even if you cannot pay, for example, if you're not able to pay for a certain time, the property will still be for you. But what we will do is that we're going to rent it out, and people will pay. And once they pay and they pay the rent and the amount that we invested is complete, you come back to your house. That's your house. I think nobody can beat that.
Let's get a picture from our onliners, who is also a contributor here of the Liberia Public Radio, asking the questions or needs some clarity here. Do you have the contract, or is there a plan that you bring in the contractor? What was the scope of the $20 billion contract? Did you sign the contract on behalf of the Liberian people before becoming president? This is a convoluted. You're saying this is a convoluted story, is it?
I don't know how convoluted it is, but what I know to tell you is that there was an engagement with friends who had money and wanted to invest and develop Liberia, and at the same time make some money. So the agreement was that, okay, we know you and you want XYZ in your country. So if you win, this is what we're going to do. And we signed a contract that when Jeremiah Whapoe wins, and the contract, when Jeremiah Whapoe wins, we want to do XYZ in Liberia. And I thought that was a good thing for Liberia. We're going to create jobs as we speak. The young people in Liberia are not going to be sitting down to archives center anymore in the lecture center. Somebody will be having 2-3 jobs to do. Okay. I think even if I signed it, that was going to come on the table through the legislature. The procedure in which investors come in the country are going to go through it. Once it passes through the threshold that has been set up by the public procurement, it's going to come to Liberia. It's not a solo thing that Jeremiah was going to do. No, it was an engagement that they agreed for that to be done. And once Jeremiah Whapoe has won, they were going to come. Even when Jeremiah Whapoe didn't win, Jeremiah Whapoe stay convince those people so he can pass through the regular process to still come to Liberia. And that was neglected.
Let's take a review of a 5 basic strategic plan for Liberia. You seems to have a lot here, but what is your focus if you were to be elected as the president of the Republic of Liberia? Let's play into your political or decision making in terms of 5 basic things that you wish to tackle to jumpstart that the economy tend to get a country rolling. What are those 5 that I know you might have tons of them, but let's narrow it down here. What are the first 5 things that you on day one becoming the president of the Republic of Liberia wish to address?
Day one, during my inaugural address, I'm going to tell the Liberian people and encourage both houses to pass a bill that will create agricultural battalion in the military. And the agricultural battalion will be responsible so we can launch an agricultural revolution in Liberia, so we can make use of our soil to produce the food that we eat.
But we had that before. Is it dead?
I don't think we have an agricultural battalion in the military. We have engineering battalion, but the engineering battalion there, they do not engage in agriculture. But this one I'm talking about is going to be strictly agriculture, where people will be recruited, train them with modern farming technology, and they will be able to execute that plan to produce food in Liberia that we eat. This is very important because I tell you this: Liberia has an economy of 551 million. Out of the 551 million economy that we're having almost over 500 some more $1 million capital flight through the importation of rice in the country. We use almost $480 million to import rice into this country. Besides that, think about it, pepper. We import pepper into this country. We import onion into this country. We import peanuts into this country. We import oranges into this country. With all the importation of our staple products that we eat, what is the possibility for the common man to excel and climb the social ladder? It makes it difficult. We spend more money on food. So the first thing we can do to balance the economy, first we will produce the food that we eat. Once we do that, you'll see that the price of rice will go down. People will have surplus to eat. They will have better health because they're eating what they want to eat. They're not eating because they need to eat. Because there's a difference between needing to eat and wanting to eat. So therefore, they will be able to eat when they want to eat. With that, the tension will go down. There will be surplus on the market. We're not going to eat those food, but we'll be able to ship it out of the country as well and bring and buy commodities with the currency that we're selling and bring it to Liberia and make more money. That way, we'll try to improve the economy in that direction. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to invest in the job creation. You cannot have an economy where you don't create jobs. And creating jobs doesn't mean just taking over government and just employ. That's not job creation. That replication and duplication of profession. What we're going to do is this. First of all, we're not just say, okay, companies, there are already companies in Liberia that want to hire. But what we lack of is the technical, the skill to do those jobs. We don't have it. So we're going to engage the universities and colleges that are in Liberia, and we're going to engage the multinational corporation. And what we're going to do is this. For example, if Firestone is in Liberia, we're going to make policy that Firestone, the rubber that you are getting from Liberia, process 25% of the rubber in Liberia. When you process 25%, that means that you'll be able to open factory. And to be able to open that factory safely in Liberia, those various colleges and universities, Firestone will be responsible to bring people that will train these young men and women at those colleges, so that when they graduate, they will be absorbed into the job market. Firestone will be able to hire them. That way, you are creating jobs. You are creating stable jobs for the Liberian people. But unlike today, every liter of rubber like Firestone gets, Firestone take it out of the country, thereby reducing the Liberian people only to take liter and hang it on in bucket on them and mess them up and dump it in the truck and they take it away. Then when the finished product comes, they come right back to Liberia and sell it. We're not going to do that. It is their corporate social responsibility. The CSR, it is their responsibility to do that. We will do the same thing with metal steel. Today, we have iron doors, nail steel rod being produced out of the country, bringing back to Liberia when we're producing iron ore. We'll make sure that metal steel process 25% of what they are harvesting from Liberia so that they can create jobs. They will not only be creating jobs, but they will bring technical people that will be able to train these young men and women at the various community colleges and universities. By the time they come out of college, they'll be able to go and be absorbed into those various companies so they can work. Once you see that, you'll be creating jobs. You'll be not only creating jobs, but you'll be creating a skill that the young men and women will do. The deficit we have in Liberia is this: at all of our university and colleges, there's no career counselor in any of the university. Not one. I've been teaching those almost more than 75% of the colleges and universities in Liberia. There's no career counselor to talk to the young men and women when they come, so they can tell them, look, and explain what you want to do, explain it. And make sure that this career that this person learning is going to put food on their table. Okay, in Liberia, most of the job that people do, I mean, career that they learn is public administration, journalism, political science, and what have you. How many journalists that Meta C going to hire? How many journalists that Golden Verena going to hire? How many who you did public administration, when the government going to hire you? Government will be the most popular employer. At the end of the day, there's a replication of responsibilities in government. We're not going to do that. Once we are able to empower all the universities and engage the multinational corporations and training the young people according to the job market, you'll see that there will be a blossom of jobs in Liberia. That's the second thing you'll do. The next thing we're going to do is this. We're going to invest into education. The education system in Liberia, my brother, is very, very demeaning.
Okay, that's a costly fee there. Let me intercept you a little bit. That's a costly fee, and there are a lot of people here also monitoring here. You are going to, because it almost like jump into my follow-up conversation that we're going to be coming. That's one you already pick on. We are going to invest into education. When you say we are going to invest into education, on Dr. Jeremiah Watch, as the President of the Republic of Liberia, how much are you willing to pump into education?
Well, it is not the amount that go into the education. Is about setting a system that works. Okay, for example, right now, we have a president that says education is free in the government institution. But ironically, where ID card used to be $2.50 before, ID card price has gone up to $15 US. Where the registration fee used to be $5 before, registration fee has gone up to $50. Is that actually free? No. What we're going to do is that we're going to help our young men and women based on income, family income. This is why we have a plan that every year.
How will you deal with the global financial crisis as well? How you help them, in what context, in what way? Cost of living, every now and then, if I go in the shop there tomorrow, not to interrupt you, go in the shop there today, get a tin of milk, the next day you go there, you will see on the label there's a different price. So this inflation, this financials and economic crisis is just it's a global issue. So how are you going to do that? Will you do something to the detriment of the country because you want somebody to get up there to the ladder, or what?
No, that is not at a detriment. What we are explaining here is something that is systematic, that there might be changes along the way, but what we will be doing is that we're going to work in the context of the happening. What is happening in Liberia, we are not working in the context of what is happening. Okay, so now let's go back to that education I was talking about. We'll go back to the so-called free market that you have in Liberia that continue to make the Liberian people poor. Even today, the Great United States is not part of the world trade, it's not part of the free market. Today, they got some commodities in the Great United States that is protected so that the people of that country can benefit, the farmers in that country can benefit. But in Liberia, that is not the case. Okay, today in Liberia, people are here that farming chickens, people are here that farming, different agriculture products like fish and what have you. Why should we have people farming chicken and stuff in Liberia? They will still have chicken coming from China to come here. Then how would the man who is making farm in Liberia with chicken, how will his product be sold at the market? For example, you got Chinese chicken on the market here for $50, and you have Liberian chicken here on the market for $10. $10 US and $50 Liberty. Which one they're going to buy? So what we're going to do is this. We're going to make sure that the commodity that are producing Liberia will have it protected, so that our people can be able to sell. Because if we continue to do that, we're going to make Liberia a market ground. Liberia will not be producing rice here at an astronomical rate where people, there's a surplus of the rice on the market, they will stay have Chinese rice coming here so they can use our country as a market ground. No, there are certain commodities that our people will produce in Liberia. We're going to protect it. There are certain commodities, the one that we cannot produce, we can allow it come in our country so we can have that exchange of goods and services. But we cannot open the market. And the more we open the market, the more we make our people poor. No smart country does that. Even the great United States doesn't do that. That's what making our people poor. Today, there are a lot of goods that come in Liberia. There's no warranty on it. You go in the store today, you buy some material. As you walk out where you carry it, if it doesn't what you carry by the law, the man's going to tell you, say, no, I'm not taking it. Who's losing there? The consumer is losing. We're not going to do that. We want to be able to protect all of these things so that the consumer, when you buy the product, so you can enjoy it. That is not what's happening here. The business community are more protected than the consumer. I think on the other side, the consumer should be right than you making the market. You don't want to know where you got that from. So the consumer just want to buy and use it. And at the end of the day, they lose. So there are multiple things that will put into place. But let me go back to the education if we have time.
Sure. Go ahead.
So what we're going to do is this. We're going to assist the young men and women in Liberia who want to go to school based on family income. There will be a specific poverty threshold that will be set. And once that threshold is set, and your family is not able to pass through that poverty threshold, you'll be qualified to receive certain amount to go to school wherever you want to go to school. That is not the case in Liberia now. Everybody, for example, Georgia relative that Georgia worth right now is $90 million. His salary is about $7.5 million a year. So now, if we will have people at Georgia for their relatives,
so where's the president's salary?
$7.5 million. Go online, you will find it there. Right now, as you myself speak, searching what is the salary of the president of Liberia? $7.5 million. The world right now is $90 million. Okay, just shut down that they think about where are they taking this money from? Where are they taking it from? So the money in Liberia is leaking to the wrong pocket. So what we'll do is we'll provide educational assistance based on family income. If you pass through the threshold at a certain level, there's certain amount your family is supposed to receive so you can be able to go to school. But if your people are making money level, what some of your two of them making it, their family should not be qualified to go to receive the assistance. See, so this is why the money is leaking in the wrong pocket. So there will be the right assistance, poverty reduction agenda that will be affecting those who are poor. My children should not be qualified to benefit from that money to go to school because I'm well-to-do, I can afford, I'm working, I earn money. Okay, my children shouldn't be qualified. But what's about they will take the scholarship instead of the people who deserve it to receive it. No, they will deserve it to receive it instead and continue to make the people poor. We're not going to do that. Income-based financial assistance will be established. That's one of the ways that will help our young people to invest into the education sector. The next thing is the healthcare. The health of this country, Liberia is one of the countries in Africa right now that the people live shorter life. For example, Ghana men live longer than Liberian men. The records are there. Check it up. Nigerian women live longer than Liberian women. Why? It is because of poor health. Many at times, Liberian people who cannot afford, they are taken to hospital. This dilapidated hospital we have here that government officials refuse to attend, to go to for treatment. When they're sick, they take another capital flight there. They take the money, carry to Turkey, carry to India, carry all Ghana. But they refuse to invest into our healthcare system. So what we're going to do first is that we're going to also provide universal healthcare, and people who will qualify will be qualified based on income. And when we institutionalize these things across the country, you'll see that we'll be having what we refer to as equitable distribution of the natural resources. We're not going to divide money. Yeah, we're not going to divide money and put it into people's hands. But the natural resources, what belongs to them, can it go to their children's school? What belongs to the poor people, can it go to the hospital so that when they get sick, they can have second chance, social service, or funding will be there so they can be treated and go back home. The health of the country is not an individual responsibility. It is a government responsibility. Unlike other government, this government is very cruel. That it don't care, it doesn't care for the welfare of the Liberian people. People are rejected almost 100% of the time when you go to hospital, even if it's emergency and you do not have money at that moment, the people are going to trash you out. If you die, you die. That's inhumane. You can't treat your citizens like that. That's another thing we'll be addressing. And to improve the economy in this country, the next thing we're going to do is that providing joy is great. But one thing we're going to do is that we're going to make sure that the interest rate on borrowed amount in Liberia is so high. It defied us from creating middle class. We want to make sure that the interest rates, it reduces from 30% or from 15% to at least 2%, provided you have
2%?
a stable income, cash flow that you ought to pay this loan regularly. We don't want to give risk, to encourage the bank to give risky loan out so they cannot get their money. But at the same time, they should be able to give the loan at a rate that when the borrower borrow it, they'll be able to live on it and make some money. In Liberia, you will borrow the money, business loan, for example. You take business loan. The very moment you take a business loan, you start paying on it. There's no way, I'm a businessman, there's no way that business can survive in 1 month. At least, according to business law, at least 90 days. The money should be invested in 90 days. Say that again?
So let me ask you, hold on a little bit here. Your argument seems to be something of empowerment and get Liberian businesses to get involved. So what would be the holistic plan for small businesses or Liberian business-oriented people to get them, like we saw the last time, the speech, the president, that they want to be spectators or Liberians or businesses. We see like the rights thing that is being given to other people here. What plan do you have if you elect the president to have Liberians, businesses take charge or sort of subsidy? Will there be some sort of subsidy provided to these business organizations, and how will you go about to do that? Because we don't want to subsidize, give money to people. We're saying that here during the economic crisis here, government borrow money, but they make sure those people to sustain those businesses because they want people to maintain their jobs as well. But they make sure that these people, they pay back the money. So how are you going to do that? Give them money, take government money, give it to a fund. So the next day he crossed to Ivory Coast or Guinea, Ghana, and he gone to go there to go do his own thing, and he cannot even come back.
Okay, now we have to put mechanisms into place so the folks, if they borrow the money from the bank, so they can get it back. Number one, like your place of residence. How long have you lived at this place here? We're going to collect all of those data. When we collect all of those data, we're going to make sure that you have means to pay this money. We're going to investigate what means do you have, because you cannot be a better boss seller than you go and credit maybe 100,000 United States dollars. That's ludicrous. You might not be able to pay. But if all we are giving the money, we are giving the money at a low interest rate. Let me tell you, everywhere around the world, the lower the interest rate, the more people borrow, the more people spend, and the economy improves. But in Liberia, that is not the case. The interest rate is high. So therefore, when people are going to borrow money, they say, well, let me just borrow and do what I want to do. I might escape with it. But if the money you borrow, the interest rate is low, and you are investing into the business, nobody go borrow money from bank and they say they want to do business. There's no business plan. The business plan should be there. We should evaluate to make sure whether there will be ROI on your investment, return on investment, whether there will be ROI. You cannot be delusional or illusional a business plan that somebody takes money and give it to you. There should be an accurate plan that is achievable, is attainable. Then you will be qualified. One of the things that drags Liberian people into poverty here is this. Somebody will go today, they want money, then the bank asks them for their house collateral. And because of the interest rate is so high, and they start paying the very month that for example, you borrowed $200 today, you get your D. And that very month, the money are not being invested. Then they say you should pay 25% of that money that you just borrowed to the bank. That means you are paying your debt from the capital. It's abnormal. You cannot pay debt from capital. There should be a grace period, at least 90 days, the money be invested. Right after the 90 days period, then the person start paying it. That means they'll be paying the debt from the interest, thereby revolving that amount so that they can be able to make some money and be able to pay the debt. So because this is not done in Liberia, most of the time the debt becomes a bad debt. And at the time they take the people property and seize it, then instead of the person claiming the social ladder, the person go back into poverty. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
You're not going
to. We're going to make sure. We're not going to do that. We're going to make sure if you borrow the money, we're going to investigate how much you pay. Do you have a flow, cash flow? Have you worked here for a certain amount of time? What is your reputation of the job? What is the possibility that you will retain this job here? All of those when they're investigated, and will not borrow you money that you are not able to work for to earn it. No, we can't do that. But once the plan is there, the business plan is there, we borrow the money and we monitor it and you execute the business plan, we'll be able to evaluate the business plan. Well, you don't just give the business plan. Well, we evaluate the business plan and the money that we're giving to you, it will not be given to you in lump sum. It will be given to you in portion. For example, you want $100,000. Okay, we'll give you the first $25,000. You win. What did you do with the $25,000 towards the business? We go and see it.
So that means there will be a kind of like grace period time to see whether that business is growing or whatever.
Very good.
The second part is
very good. Definitely. We give you the first 25,000. We monitor how you use the 25,000. Did you use it on the business? We monitor. Yes, you use it on the business. Then we release the other cash. You use it for the business. Like that, you'll see the progression. How people will make that business to work. But on the other hand,
what happens in the interim? You gave Alfonso 25,000, and instead of Alfonso doing something, he go on jolly. What becomes of that 25,000? What happens to Alfonso?
Well, I don't think Alfonso will do that, but in a extreme case where Alfonso will do that, we'll have a recovery plan that will be instituted by the expert that we have. It will be put into place to protect that cash. To protect that cash. This is the first place. This is the first thing I told you that. Number one, we will study your pattern, your lifestyle. We'll investigate. You don't just give money, you got to investigate. What is the person's lifestyle? Okay, once we investigate that, if you qualify for the loan, we'll put all the mechanisms into place and we evaluate. If you qualify for it, we'll give it to you. And at the same time, we'll be monitoring how the money is being invested. I don't think Alfonso will be that delusional and brought a business plan that is achievable, executable. Then after he's given the money, you go and start drinking liquor. No, I don't think Alfonso.
There are dubious people that you would never know. It doesn't matter whether the person dresses good or wearing.
Yeah, but equally so, because of an abstract of behavior, we cannot punish the entire public. That would be an abstract of behavior. Of course, there will be people who will be of that character. Do we have mechanism to track them down to get it back? The law is there. Not because of abstract of behavior, we're going to punish the entire population. No.
We will continue on the show. I know it's extremely late, but that's part of the marathon to the presidency because you could get a 3-4 a.m. call from your national security team, Mr. President. You need to address it. I cannot let you go without the much talk about is being scrambled by the opposition's talk show host and all ordinary librarian, which of course they have the right. You listen to the president's address to the nation?
Sincerely, I listened to it and I've had my rebuttal on it already.
We saw that statement that condensed the statement that we have from you here. What went wrong?
What went wrong? Firstly, the president does not recognize his position as a president to address the state and the world over in a serious and honorable manner. He was there throwing jabs, lying to the Liberian people about his investment and what have you, but he neglected to tell the Liberian people how he has been the cause of inflation in the country. The first thing the president came up, what he said that Liberians not going to be spectator to their own economy, but now even the spectator, at least they can be in the sport arena observing, but Liberians, they are far from the spectator. They're not even seeing what is happening in the economy. For example, today, the light poles that we have in Liberia, the light poles have been planted by Ghanaians. Ghanaians are the one that planting our light poles, running our wires around. You want to tell me Liberians cannot do that? And we spectator
so
in that
other words,
manner?
Are you saying the government is outsourcing the job in Liberia?
I'm just telling you, that's a fact. Ask anybody in Liberia. People who claim our light poles, the majority of them either Sierra Leone or Ghanaians. While Liberians are looking for jobs. That's the same thing I was telling you by doing the career counseling in various colleges and universities, training the young men and women according to the job market. They are not training the Liberian people according to the job market. So therefore, they outsource the job and people come here, get the money and take it away. Okay, the president didn't talk about that. Another thing the president didn't talk about, president lied to the Liberian people that he's going to reduce, he reduced rice price. How can you reduce tariff on rice when the rice was $15 and now the retail price, the wholesale price at the Freeport of Monrovia is $17.50. When it leaves the Freeport and comes out, it's either $20 or more. Then is that any reduction? He lied. He's a pathological liar. You know, so we follow the trend, and those things that he lie on, we talk about. For example, he coined himself as a viral medicine. He's not a viral medicine. I think he's a virus for road. He's a virus that he sits in his throne, even in his home. Grand Creek County that he claims to be his home. The road from there to Morovia is bizarre. It's bizarre. We have people traveling from there recently to come for our convention in Morovia. They almost spend like 4 to 5 days just from Grand Creek to Morovia. He called himself viral medicine. Let not go out of Morovia. Right, Freeport of Morovia is the gateway to the Liberian economy, quote unquote. But the road leaving from downtown Morovia to Freeport is dilapidated. From Morovia, from downtown Morovia, Broad Street to Freeport is damaged. From Locketown Cinema to Freeport is completely damaged. And he calls himself viral medicine. Beyond that, the road leading from Buse Quarter, getting right there to Capitol Hill there. The place is damaged. As we speak, it's smelling with feces. Then he called himself viral medicine. He talk about Liberian economy is improved. Just yesterday, on the corruption perception index, Liberia's corrupt rate has significantly increased. We are increased in negative digits of our corruption. We added 3 negatives to what we had before. We had 9. I think we added 2 or 3 negatives to going to 11. They say Liberian economy is improved. From whence and from what camera is he seeing? Yes, I know the camera is seeing this thing. The camera is seeing this thing is because his pocket is increased. He got money in his pocket. That means Liberian economy is increased. No, that's not the way you measure the improvement of economy. You measure the improvement of the economy by the income of the common people, by the per capita of the people. You don't increase, you don't measure economic growth by how much in your pocket. You don't do that.
Let me ask
and that's exactly why you did.
Let me ask you, what is the good administrative aspect of this government, of this president so far? Is there any on top of your head?
Are they administrator anyway? Do they know what they call administration? They don't. So I don't see anything. I cannot jeopardize any good thing that they are doing to say. Because we can say, look, somebody will say, oh yeah, the government can have freedom of speech. But you will talk the next day you disappear. And the government will say, oh, we launch an investigation. Before the investigation is done, they bring the report out, oh, no foul play was made. So I cannot grade this government on anything good. I won't lie to you. The government is very deceptive to the Liberian people.
If you are elected as president, will you order your attorney general to open some of those court cases that are unresolved?
I think I said that earlier. Every court case in Liberia, those who have died, for example, in recent time, Princess Cooper died. In recent time, they killed one young lady. In recent time, those 4 auditors were killed. In recent time, those boys that were working with St. Joseph, they mysteriously disappear until today. No investigation, no report. All of those cases will be investigated and the perpetrator will be brought to justice. Count on me for that.
Come on to you for that. I'm one of those who is apprehensive in counting on politicians because sometimes they say it and they don't when they get to the higher office of the land. Dr. Whapoe, we want to continue. We monitored your convention. We know it's extremely late out there. Let's be a little bit reasonable here. But I believe after that convention, hopefully we can work out something so we can have you out here. But before, is there anybody that you have in your mind that is competent, that is that you can work with as a running mate? Is there anybody that you have in mind while you were with the vetting committee? You as an individual, you have to trust the person that you will be working with, somebody that want to work with you as your principal deputy. So in the absence of vetting committees, you also have your own political mind to push there. Is there anybody that perhaps you have in mind?
Well, while it is true that I might have somebody in mind, I think we give that responsibility to the vetting committee, and I don't want to preempt it, and I don't want to leak their job. They're going to do their job and make. Even if I have somebody in my mind, the person will be recommended for vetting as well to the vetting committee. So I think it is more appropriate and prudent that we leave them with that responsibility, and once their work is done, they're going to make recommendations, and those recommendations, the potential candidate will be selected from.
Do you intend to have a female running mate?
Like I said, a female will not be people that will be extracted from our choices. Every citizen that has the potential and love Liberia and passionate and willing to see clearly the vision so we can work together, that person will be considered. And female will not be some people that will be extracted from that. They will all be involved, and those recommendations will be made. If the vetting committee brings our female as a candidate that is qualified, we will look into that and make that choice. But at this point in time, I don't want to be gender specific on that. Every gender is qualified to go through the vetting process.
Most likely, it sounds to me that's a potential yes.
Well, you can point it the way you believe it, but I think what I'm telling you is that every female, every Liberian is qualified. That will be qualified with that. You both female and male will be vetted, and when that vetting is done and recommendation is made, we will make the selection.
Dr. Jeremiah Whapoe, thank you joining us this early morning hour. Yes, we do have an affiliate network there. You say why it's in Cape Mount? You having a convention? You say?
Yeah, Cape Mount in St. J, Grand Cape Mount County.
Cape Mount County. How that selection was made?
Well, the executive committee we met in a meeting, and several choices were presented, and majority carried the vote. They said we should go Cape Mount, and we did.
I don't want to relegate this here. I don't want to relegate it interview here, but for the most part, I see out of the experience they're going, we don't see who they have as we have 73 seats at stake as what. That's another aspect of solidifying to your political base, your political party to sustain the party. But it seems like, do you have other people contesting in other counties, rep senators? There are a lot of positions at stake. And you need to have that support from the first branch of government if you are to be president to push your agenda. So do you have people contesting in the various counties as well on your party ticket?
Yeah, definitely. We have pool of people coming in expressing their interest, especially so with the vision we have.
At this time, we don't.
Oh yeah, people are expressing their interest coming to the party, and we have philosophy. If you want to run a party ticket, you first have to buy the vision and be able to run with the vision. And secondly, your people have to love you and willing to vote for you. And thirdly, you have to be in the party for not less than 6 months before you can run the party ticket. So people are getting acclimated to that and coming in and willing to work with us as we speak. Most of our delegates that are coming, most of those potential representative candidates are coming as observers and what have you to observe the process. And some of them have also registered to become a member of the political party. So that's a good thing. I think we're making progress, and we're looking forward to the election. And I can tell you this as we speak right now. We have a huge mobilization, recruitment of members going on right now in Grand Creek County, and it's very resounding. You won't believe.
Dr. Jeremiah Whapoe, thank you so much for joining us this early morning from the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. We'll continue to follow the outcome of the convention, your party convention, and hopefully after the convention, we will then know if you are the nominee, and we will have a conversation, because then you will more or less become the aspirant for the presidency of the Republic of Liberia. What's your final word for your people?
Well, my final word for the Liberian people is that all is not lost. Let's keep the torch burning. If you work with us and we execute our agricultural revolution platform, what will happen is that our people will eventually be emancipated from the trap of poverty. And as well, people who cannot afford to have food on a daily basis in a plate, they will be able to eat at least 3 times a day. That is the minimum thing that we can do. We can have it done for Liberia, but there are more that we can do. Let's keep the torch burning, and let's help to make Liberia an oasis of hope. Thank you, and I look forward to interfacing with any Liberian who is willing to come forward to ask me tough questions. How am I going to lead the Liberian people? I'm looking forward to answering those questions. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Jeremiah Whapoe, thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome. Bye-bye.
I am Alfonso Zaryeant of the Liberia Public Radio. We are about to bring you some of some development news story. I will be right back. Multiple sources now telling the Liberia Public Radio the fallout of this nursing scheme now hit the ocean state of Rhode Island. We can now confirm multiple institutions now reporting familiar with the case that the scenario hits the ocean state of Rhode Island, and some has fled. Liberia Public Radio for the first time receiving some images of some those who claimed to graduate, including text message. We are now getting, and according to our sister network here, to our network, Assistant News, Electronic News Media, is reporting that Florida today filed the first of all filed an ongoing innocent diplomat fraud case alleged the U.S. Federal government against a Liberian licensed practitioner nurse LPN and co-conspirator Florida, Texas, New Jersey, and Delaware government lawyers have filed a bill of particulars under the federal rules of criminal procedures against defendants, including Mr. Stanton A. Waterspoon, Alfred Silute, and Rennie Bennett, according to the African Start newspaper. There seems to be cooperation from one of the accused. Alfred is now more or less talking to investigators. We're going to be following this here, but these are text messages, these are pictures, images that we have received from our source familiar with this case. This one seems to be the very first one surfacing here, and in fact, there was a website when we tried to do a follow-up on that. Initially, it was there. The source who familiar with this case told us. And in fact, they are victims. They are also there, but that website is down currently. They managed to capture some images here. These images and text message here that we have received from our source telling us here who is a victim as well. We are doing everything possible to authenticate, to verify that these images are indeed what is happening here. But for we now know Rhode Island is also hate, and most of these people are some from Haitians and people from South America. From what we are hearing, this is getting to be very, very much interesting. It was organized. They have recruiters. They were talking to people who were getting people, try to get people on board. So this is more or less getting to be serious. With respect to the unfolding situation. In fact, our sister online news network is reporting that they do have the listing now, but their source who is close to the case telling them to hold fire with that because they are all procedures working after that. Subsequently, they will have that published. They want it to come from the federal or try to give them that authorization, but they do have the listing of those involved. Meanwhile, Georgia is not calling on these people to surround the diplomats, or as they're going to go, the federal, the state going to be going after them. This is more or less serious now. I'm Alfonso Zaryeant. I will be right back.
Welcome to Fiber Queen off of Woodland. Everyone that's looking for a nice African for wedding, whatever fiber you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You guys are welcome. She have really nice stuff. You can see all over there, all those men over here. You don't have to go to the theater and then they're going to be telling you all kind of stories. You can just come here. They're already made. And for ladies, you can just look for whatever fiber you're looking for and match it for the men. And your husband already have a shirt made. You can get stuff for your kids. You can get stuff for the whole family. We have African slippers and ashobi hand ties all over. We have different kinds of lists and everything. So you guys are welcome, okay? It's really nice. It's Fiber Queen on 6695 off of Woodland. 6625 Woodland Avenue, okay? So you guys are welcome, 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 welcome. You have nice stuff here for ladies, for men, for kids, and for everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia is 100% African-owned business. At Fabric Queen, we are specialized in high-quality wax product, Swiss lace, jewelry, and beauty products that will make you shine like the queen of fabrics. We are located at 6625 on Woodland Avenue, 10 Philadelphia. Telephone number 215-800-0228. Tell the management of Fabrics Queens in Philadelphia is easy and salt of the Liberia Public Radio gives you this message. Tell all Akwaba.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business. Hello listeners, this is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it up for you.
All right. Just in case you have an event you want to advertise, you need some promotional airtime, just reach us here at LPR. Those numbers, the email, call us, and it doesn't matter. We are unlimited. Wherever you are, if there's no way, we will find a way out. Let us know, and we can make it happen. Believe me, trust me. Be it birthday or memorial or any intermemorial event here. Okay, within the last minute left, let me bring in our senior contributor, to Dr. George Toto, is joining me here on this evening's broadcast here. Dr. Toto, good evening and welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Alfonso. Thank you. I listened to the interview. Very interesting interview with Dr.
You listened to Dr. Whapoe?
Yeah, this is Dr. Whapoe.
I know you know him. He's not a strange guy here. Yeah. Look, what's going on? Everybody trying to get on the 4th floor, whatever they're going to find their office. The last time I talked to them here with Reginald Goodrich, they were part of an alliance, a rainbow, what you call coalition. Asking today, the Central is no longer holding. It is a clear indication to justify the argument of many Liberians, oppositions, and I'm noting there's no trademark that they can hold together even before election. What I do know, it is always after election before the opposition can come together. It happens in 1985. Jacinto said Gabriel Bacard Matthew was a socialist, and there was no way their political ideology would not they were not in whole. We saw that in the All Liberian Conference, and Taylor told them that these people, they will not agree with one another. They're going to be arguing, and Taylor will be elected as the president of the Republic of Liberia. That came to pass. Here we are again. History is unfolding, repeating itself. Yet you guys are arguing that you're going to make the president a one-term president. How can that happen on planet Earth?
That's a better question. We keep saying it here. For the way to look at it, it's just going to be a free walk for President Weah. Up to that, you have the election coming in October. Today is February 1st. How long do we have for that October? And up to that, opposition, political party, organization cannot come together to put a strong united force against President Weah. Everybody have their own take, how they want to run the country. I listen to Dr. Whapoe. He has some good idea how you want to run Liberia. But how will you run Liberia when you cannot have even a consensus among a political organization, political party? They can work together. The center can no longer hold. So how they going to defeat President Weah? It's just going to be a free walk. And we say it, and we see the implication of it. Take Whapoe in RA, but a major political organization that wrestling with the leadership, the ANC, the Unity Party. Those are the Liberty Party. Those are the parties we expected to form a strong coalition to contest against President Weah. And up to that, this is shortly. You got the CPP on the side, that have few political parties with the Liberty Party. You have the Liberty Party, the Domin Kanga group on the other side with JMB. Then you have JMB on the other side. Within the very political tussle, the hustle going on about people. As weak, the government, everybody can see the weakness in the government. The very indicator are there, like Dr. Whapoe was saying. The very indicator are there. How you measure a good government, the bare match is there already. How do we measure the government? We look at the bare match that has been set. You talk about inflation. The government said to reduce inflation to 7%. How is it fair among the poor people? He was talking some of that. You talk about GDP per capita in the whole country. How is the economy really functioning? You were talking about agriculture. Yeah, those are good things. How is the agricultural production in the country? Are the people getting back to the soil? What is the message that taking to the people to get back to the soil to be more productive, to be a good farmer? Are they message reaching out to the people? All they're coming on platform, engaging social media to be talking this thing. and they could already feel the practical or implication of it. You talk about good roads in the Southeast. The people can even get good farmer roads in the Southeast. At certain time, they are completely cut off the rest of Liberia from an honest end Atlanta. People in the Southeast, sometimes they trade to Africans because when they can even come to their own capital city, Monrovia or Yucatan.
Product come from Africans.
Yeah, people trade Africa. Those are closer to Guinea side, the border Liberia. We are trading in Guinea. Those are along the border side from Lofa side or Bon County side. They are trading in Guinea. So you see how horrible this country is in terms of the government, and up and down the opposition can now come with a united force, to see how best to put strategy together to go against the government. And they all just look at everybody gave their own State of the Union analysis for the president. Everybody come with this and that. This, ANC, Kobe talk about the president. We not stupid here. We're not stupid here. I think the message they put on here, we're not stupid here. If you don't give a tangible message to the people the wrong way, if you say you already feel the people, we're not stupid here. Okay, take it to Liberian people to see what are the wrong way. They're not stupid here. So these are.
There seems to be a kind of like a frustrations on what is going on right now.
It is a. I don't know how we can sugarcoat it. No matter can sugarcoat it. It is a big frustration. The opposition camp, even my own opposition.
Let's talk about your guy.
My guy, I support to. I must admit, I feel a little bit scary for him. I don't know how you survive with even the type of tough political hustle that's going on in the country now. It's very difficult. Who are he or who is he really looking at? Who is that person? Even a running mate that will kind of turn our corn around, to make a significant impact. Who are the people? Who are the running mate?
I think these positions, and in my opinion, I could be wrong. They are on a water politically here. I asked Dr. Jeremiah Whapoe. The tradition is that in most cases, and he knows that in this place here, conventions is where you raise your running mate, and that's where the momentum comes from. We don't see you want to be president. Okay, let's give it to them. Be president. If they do not even have control of the first branch of government, how does your agenda is being pushed? They don't have people running. They don't have the money. So it is a problem.
Even people are running, representative.
That's going to beat on the president. I think they are running a high political risk here.
Yeah. They don't have candidates that run on the bureau or local area representative, senator. If all you can just sponsor your own election, you come in. Even somebody put that running in the legislature, say be a senator or representative. When you ask about them, we put a party, you want to go, hey, my man, right now, I'm ready to disclose it because you don't have to play the game. So nobody want to even identify that some other political institution right now. Everybody want to go independent. Even the those that go as representative or senatorial election. You ask them which party running on. My man, it's too early to say, hey, I have some friends that reach out to me, they want to contest. They say, Dr. Todo, I need your blessing. If you ask them which political party you try to run, chief, we can't talk here right now. Because
you can't talk right now.
Yeah, so that's it. So you see how desperate the whole political environment like bro just become messed up. And how do we knock out the president?
Who is being advantaged now? Okay, we're seeing also things falling apart. Prince Johnson on the other side creating his own political dramas. NPP on the other side here, another faction win there. Okay, but I can for sure say that they stay out of the president for that long period of time. That gives him a financial ability to solidify his political strength, to wage an effective campaign, to do anything possible. Now, the proliferations of all of these parties, no offices in the county, they don't even have correct chairperson. They are not being strategic in waging an effective campaign to win a strategy. The message is very diminished. We're not hearing any concise message. It's just insufficient to say, well, things suffering the president, get us into the pit. Okay, we are into the pit. Bring out a message that will get us out of this pit here. Who is it going to advantage if it remains like this?
Right now, I would
We have a
say
guy who get tons of money who is going into the race.
just by President Johnson's ends, right now, he gave you all his analysis about who he want to support. He having problem with the ruling government right now. He said that he have been deceived, this, that, you know. But even the CDC right now, coalition having some problem too. You see the MPP side, the MPP have been going.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere. The turmoil is.
Yeah, it is a big mess. The MPP also too as they are opposing to her. So everything by the end of the day, who does it really benefit? Whether the hustle will be the ruling party, they benefit from it because why they are the competent, the competent, and then they have the resources. They have the money, they have the resources to navigate their way through to reach out to the voter. So it will benefit them a lot. You know, they have the resources. That's why the noise are out there. And also they know how to maneuver their way out there.
Your guy, who is he having lengthy conversation with now? We are in the injury and strappy time. This is what commentators usually say when a game is going to a diamond, and then you see the match commissioner, the referees, they are looking at the time. People will say, okay, 9 months, 10 months is still sufficient. Look, politics is a tough game. It's not
very tough. Even our own guys, we don't even have that. Initially, we have that communication. We communicate on national issues and things there. With this, even right now, sir, as the laborers will say, Mr. So, I know the people don't know me. You know, that's how rich. But at the end of the day, with all the tussle, the hustle that going because of run political organization, about how to lead their support, how to work together. At the end of the day, the CDC government going to benefit from it more because they are the ruling party. They have a lot of resources to their disposal, able to be able to reach out to the voter. They have the money. Most of the political parties like Dr. Whapoe, political organization, I don't think they have financial strong to even say they want to launch a million mass campaign across the country. They won't see. We are waiting also to this weekend to see the CDC, the big march, they're coming out to work with the support of President. We have a second trainer coming on the 4th. Everybody talking about it, so will be a tsunami. We are waiting to see the turnout. But I'm not too critical of the turnout because
focusing on what other people are going to be doing, or they should be focusing, putting their own strategy in place to get the minds of the voter.
That's it, you know. That's how I keep saying to the opposition. Continue to work on what you do to get the voters. You know, don't focus on.
I listen to Cummings. I listen to ANC reporters, Unity Party. Okay, that is okay. They are saying it, but you have to replenish. If you remove something, there must be a replacement. So for everything they were saying, they're reminding people the bad policy, the bad times on the watch of George Weah. That is okay, but when you are doing that, you also want to inject the good part that you are bringing into it, and that is very minimal than just reminding people. People don't want to be having bad dreams over and over. People want to forge ahead. People want to move ahead and see what the next day is bringing. I slept hungry today, and I keep talking about tomorrow I will be hungry again. Tomorrow. No, that's not what I want to focus on. I want to see what will happen tomorrow. I want to see a better day tomorrow. Are they on a good strategy?
Yeah, you know, if you look at the ANC, you know, one of the stumbling blocks have been with Alexander Kwame course for the presidency is he have been centered around his associate. And that's the one that really affecting his progress, but they don't want to pay attention to that. But for me personally,
they are playing down way.
Yeah, they are playing down way. It affecting.
I thought ANC or Cummings found his voice bringing in Louis Brown, but the changing of their message, their tone with this, with tire suffering, and in the middle of that, 70K missing in action. that kills the purpose. It makes it difficult to even make the case of other people. And that's what I was telling Mr. George.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Use 250,000. You also on your night 70,000 every decade when
you know, you have people that
it doesn't matter.
You have people that lose bra. Definitely, you have people that lose bra. People at a data chair that are people bleeding for bad governance in our country. They are the face of you today. They're in the midst of that. 70K disappear. An investigation has been launched up to today. No report have come up yet. It's an investigation.
Now, when you call his name, that's when, call his name. That when he can surface. He's now.
Coming still struggling to navigate his way through the political system in Liberia here. He had not really been fair by the people yet. From my analysis, I mean, he's a good guy. He's a good corporate guy, and I see his wealth there.
What is that?
You know, his wealth there doing well. His wealth there out a few days. I saw Senator the time his wealth went on the campaign to talk to some young people. That's very good. You know, she joining in the race now, joining the process to encourage people to support her husband. That's good. But to be identity, more work to be done to brand Cummings in the eyes of the people. And for me, time is running so fast. We are in February to this month. 28 days from now, we'll be talking about March. What? You know, I'm not ready getting the grip.
No running mate the same time is there. Let's this guy not feel that we are sanctioning someone from participating in this whole thing or that we are crucifying his guy. All of them, kind of pushing the oil riot. Amos George, the legendary Amos George. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Dr. Tutu. Good evening, Mr. So.
Yeah, this is all things considered. I don't know whether you monitored Dr. Whapoe in the conversation, and we are just pushing the boy around. Everybody is going on their own, and it's a race. They have the right. They have to go contest. Everybody try to validate their, their participation to see whether they are in demand, political demand, to say, oh, okay, this guy, he or she got a follower, so we need to bring them. Yeah, but with this whole thing here, resources also factor in, which of course I know Cummings, ANC have the resources, but I can tell you the Unity Party is struggling. It's struggling. They do not have money. They do not have money.
What you said? You said what?
I said Unity Party. They do not have the money to execute and run an effective campaign. I said Unity Party.
Okay, something to it, so I can comment. I'll wait here.
What do you mean something to it? Something to? Oh, okay, man. Okay, something to brother is here.
Ooh. But something to is part of the Unity Party. And how you come here to say you can tell me that the Unity Party doesn't have money?
They do not have money. That's a fact. Unity Party is.
Is there a break? Is there a break? Sister, how you doing? Because if you want to speak to me, speak to me. Don't be looking at us.
The man introduced me as Assassin to brother.
Oh Lord.
Oh my goodness, you guys here. Sister Jakana, you want to start halaki, hala.
Well, yeah. I didn't follow Dr. Whapoe. Really, I didn't follow him. I was too busy. I couldn't follow him. So
he broke up with the settings. They already out. I mean,
and the man that was something out. I was tired of. But in this man, the last time they went to support the Unity Party, did they have a elaborate ceremony? The last time, am I missing something?
No. Okay, they had this group here, 11 political parties on a rainbow coalition. I had an interview with them here with Reginald Gorich, TWP, and all of that. And the question kept asking, are you guys sure this thing going to survive? Oh, we're going to do this. He said if because they are not compatible now. That's the big word, and they get dirt on there. And so I said, but who are you talking to? Who don't really have dirt on there yet? Sister, you're laughing. Share the laughter with us.
No, it reminds me of the usual divorce thing, incompatibility.
Incompatibility, yeah. We are global compatible.
So the man filed divorce on grounds of incompatibility. So
So you're not going to ask him whether you were going to leave somebody hand too. He said no. And after the convention, where's your guy? Where's your guy?
My guy was in Lofadi a few days. He's in Bon County, talking to the people about the importance of agriculture, the importance of education and healthcare, amongst the 10 points that he has for Liberia. But we're talking about the breadbasket, or the former breadbasket of Liberia, Lofa County, and we're talking about the heartland, Bon County. So my guy is in the hinterland. He's talking to people about things that are very important to them. You know, sometimes we got to be very serious. I know Dr. Jeremiah Whapoe Dr. Whapoe is a very good guy, but when was the last time you see him out on the campaign trail, even in his backyard in Fiamma? You know, this is and for me though, I hate to do these things because I would have loved for him to be here to respond to these things. But when he talked about establishing the agricultural battalion of the AFL, and I'm thinking, was he not in Monrovia in 2021 when the Ministry of Agriculture and the Defense Ministry signed a memorandum of understanding reactivating the agricultural battalion? You want to be president of the republic and you live in the republic, you those common things skip you. That is not fair to the Liberian people.
And you know that battalion, although they had that battalion, so the AFL.
Of course, I brought that out, but he was pushing a line like, okay, let's have something, because those things, they are being there from Doe administration and even prior to that. So we have the agriculture that had been very heavily invested in Bon County and local.
Just listen, I saw they want to do research. Just listen that they want to be president for the whole country.
Wow.
So let me ask you, because you just broke a news here. How can you say the former ruling party, 12 years, and the former vice president is heading that institution, and you're telling us that they do not have the money?
So you expect them to steal the money from the coffers and put it into their party?
No, I'm just asking. He said it.
No, that kind of question begets that you expected people to steal money and put it into their
party. Says it. Yeah, man. That way God don't know what. They had all the ministers in the government. And they got privacy.
Also,
you see, they pay to play thing. I want Gamma get in trouble, but you're still here you're saying why the Unity Party not doing pay to play.
No, says it. Now, says it. Don't do that to me. You know what the Democrats do here. People raise funds, officials of the party.
But I believe he's here, but I don't know what the Liberal here. I don't know what will he be doing some fundraiser here?
But and they said that.
Oh, okay. Well, the ambassador is here, so maybe because when they're having a fundraiser, so we attend and see how it's going to be.
He will come to have some
another thing though. From I don't like to talk about my uncle when he's in the same country I'm in. That's disrespectful. So now we leave that whole thing. Until you go by the glove, I say anything. But on the Dr. Whapoe interview though, did I understand Dr. Whapoe was saying that he had a $20 billion contract? He had a contract. Yeah. So then I'm thinking, did he sign the contract as an individual Liberian citizen? And then he goes further and says, oh, when these guys won, he took the contract to McGill. What, did you have a contract or did he have an understanding of a contract? And then he signed the contract. Okay, you signed the contract as who? As president of Liberia, or did the people let you sign the contract hoping that you will become president of Liberia? So
asking, I said they want him to participate. So I said to participate as what?
He said he had a $20 billion contract. And I'm saying, okay, you signed it on behalf of the country. If you did not sign it, you did not have a contract. You had an understanding. And did these people sign a contract with you anticipating that you'll be president of Liberia? And when you affixed your signature, was it as the president of Liberia or as a citizen? Because either way, there is a convolution. We can't do that in our country. And this is an educated guy, and he's working.
But there'll be a breach of contract there.
Those are the things they carry to the people up interior and make our people vote on emptiness.
Yeah,
right? It's no different from the PAPD. That makes no sense whatsoever when you look at it. That's what Dr. Whapoe tried to come and sell to the Liberian people here today. Then he talks about he got another group that's supposed to be coming and they're coming to build houses. Are they coming as what? Are you the private, like there's a private investment you got with them, or are you telling them that when the government wins, you'll be able to peddle this contract through and get your own?
All right, let's welcome our friend in the house, because just send me a text message that she read a breaking news from.
Let me just see it before it slip on about 6 quarter. I think 1 second. Yeah, I had a good friend who was a cabinet minister in any government. So he had a contract from certain donor about $50 million. He was exiting office, and that money came to him directly.
What?
So, so he was trying to. He didn't want to tell Eddie about it because Eddie was leaving out. He told your company to give favor with Maggie and other people. He gave them the money.
Oh boy, Alex, the pumpkin pan.
At the end of the day, they threw him out.
You know pumpkin pan, you can't do a pumpkin pan.
Yeah, that body leather, guys here. Then he came to some of us. We advocacy business to break the news out.
I didn't want your market back to let it fire.
I thought he's joking. And that's a scene scenario, people Dr. Whapoe they run it off.
Okay.
Yeah, those are illegal though. Those are very illegal.
Yeah.
Corruption.
I got a text message here before Koto started coming in that she was breaking some news here. Somewhat we're talking here, so surfacing right. So we'll talk about it. Oh, she here already. Madam Zaryeant, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening to you all. And Bajo, I'm talking, please. Good evening, Bajo. Good evening.
Madam, how you doing?
Good evening to all of you. Yeah, I'm here.
I'm gonna be friendly with you. You let a force a joy. Where you need to find $1 so he will get your bag. Only person can.
Can never own a good phone. You find it now. You find out now. Doroke doesn't have a good phone.
Oh boy.
I don't care. I don't know what kind of party they in. All of them are in a party there. I don't know. Yeah, Pa Georgia, his phone, so door.
They were working to fight today. She really came to fight today.
Yeah. I just came to fight today. I was running from work to say, come fight.
They have the Nigerians on this.
One of the police people, they catch me. They pull me over.
I can't make flower. Take my president.
I don't want peace. I want trouble.
The thing I pacing me out, running like that without heavy speed. For Mr. Solo come sit here and say, the Unity Party is poor, Baka is poor, and what you thinking about? I don't know. So I'm like, let me go there. If they are working, how many hours to come call Unity Party poor here or whatever. Even if the party is poor.
Listen to this. Listen to this. The fundraising arm of the Unity Party, in the diaspora, the Unity Party USA, they have a big problem about themselves. They don't even work together. They have two different groups. They have the John Lobo, a Kabadore group. They have Samuel Widow group.
You don't even know. You don't even know what's happening. So what's happening now? People are working as team right now. You don't even know.
As a team at all. They're not working together as a team.
That's commentary after
you're telling me for all your chat groups.
I see things. They had a Cyber Widow group. They have that
was then. We're talking about now.
Our president, Koto. Our president is here there.
Okay, forget about that. That's what you think.
Koto, let me ask you.
Koto say you must forget it. If you're not getting it, you must forget it.
Yeah. Koto, let me ask you. When is the fundraiser? What state? So I will come.
You got money?
You went to ANC fundraiser before you want to go to Boyka?
And also, the fundraiser that they have
is it going to be announcing your own so you can go steal our money?
The fundraiser they have
We're not going to be announcing how much we raise and this is that so that people can go steal our phone. We know how to handle our money now.
Whapoe, you now see Rogo West Point before, nothing there to steal. So the Pona kind of unity party.
Oh my goodness. You guys from that party, everybody want to be ridiculous. In the midst of ridiculous, now yeah, everybody like a real fun evening, yeah. Oh my goodness.
Very structured to be for the unity party.
What happens here? Just before the Omer came to the States, and I know the real insider knows that Helen Johnson Wing and even Helen, there's intense conversation going behind the scenes. Some of the folks they don't even know that. You know, the Oma, she's a genius. She put her finger once on the side, then she put it last on the other side, and then throw the other one on the other side in a sort of octopus move. I think that's where the problem. There are other people, and Carter would not admit that. I mean, she can't say that. You don't throw your people on the bus. There's an intense conversation that they try to see who they can push, but it has reached a point now that is so critical. You can't get the ambassador off the stage. That should have been something that you have done a long time. At this time, when you bring any other person now, believe me, the factions. It's going to be more faction with infaction.
Hell will break loose. Hell will break loose.
So I don't know how they're going to do that.
I reached out to Anthony Cassidy, and after I said, Kezo, I want to invite you to come to PR. You're very close to JLB. That come and discuss about the issue about JLB.
They're not coming.
He told me, he said, I should write him a book, and after, why you coming to discuss? I said, well, I can read it here. Yeah, you know.
On a serious note, I'm actually happy to see JMB up and walking and very healthy. Right. Contrary to all of the media, you know, the Facebook people posting and the obnoxious death wishes they have for the old man. I was really excited to see him up. But I actually want to believe that I think there is a core group of Unity Party people that are not in those chat groups. And I think most of those chat groups, like even the Kepa Doyen and stuff, I don't think they have that much power. I think JMB has managed to get a core group of people that are actually doing work behind the scene, and they're not those loud mouth people that come out in chat group and throw stuff and throw stuff. So these funny people around that fight the juggling, like and all these people, I don't think they have any much sway. They just have it in the system because you were the chairman CDC USA, you this person, they have you do that thing. But I think there is a shadow Unity Party that's doing a lot of other things that the other people in the chat groups I don't know about, and they just throw in jabs. But to agree with you, Dr. Toto, I've seen quite a few of those chat groups where people are just going at one another and for one another, and most of those people don't even have access to the critical thing that I think the Unity Party is trying to do.
But then seriously, are these people, if they are they doing good or bad to the party or to the potential candidate himself?
The thing about it is, in every society, you have a couple of bad people that are in the society that will be causing problems. But let me just put this out here.
Okay.
These people really cannot do any harm to this party. For the level that it had gone, they will be there. And no one will tell you that there is no misunderstanding with some group of people there. But to the extent that people think that it will blow off hand, it is not like that. And like I said yesterday, you know, that one political party, not because I'm supporting JNB, that he's part of the Unity Party, it is one party that is well structured to the extent that they can take decisions to affect even the standard bearer. Whichever party or what other party have you seen that have even suspended their standard bearer before, that have suspended their chairman and suspended some members of their political party? It's only the Unity Party, and they still withstood all of the tension that they ever went through. So you will see some of their members there, like you know, that's one of the smartest thing I ever heard from Sisi, and I know he's very smart. That it is not everything right now that people will come on and be discussing, this is what we have. We already know what is going on in the country. They are using other people to come into a political party or other system to come and destroy the party. So coming up now and just disclosing all of your hidden agenda, it might destroy your party. So there are some things that will not be said publicly. Okay.
Not take Amos George from your group then. He is from your group, and I say
yeah. So we know that. We say we don't know. We know. There are some things that don't even go in the chat room.
I don't go. Yeah, definitely. And also,
I don't go in the chat rooms.
And also a squad in that the party and office in that private. Even when you come to our own party, that LPP, my candidate that support, even the friend that they work on, that says that we have a similar experience. We have different group of people. You know, in the diaspora, they got they work on this, they work on that, go to A and B. You know, and then somehow you wanna the group can even come together to agree on single agenda. You know, to give that support. How we're going to make ourselves more relevant in the eyes of the people. That was so that I don't waste my time to go attend meetings, attend a conference, those spring work group at a meeting. I just try to disassociate myself from that. You know, because if I want to support Tiwa, I was supporting a bigger platform. But all of the spring work group having separate meeting, I'm going to waste my time on that. Because if we cannot work together, in a group, how are you going to make a bigger impact in the eyes of the people? How are you going to be relevant in the eyes of the people? So they have people
looking for you. You're giving breaking news here because the reason I think earlier I was in an education committee meeting. I was just asking where's that Toto. Now you went away from all the things.
I went for that play.
But you see, look, let me be honest here. In every institution, there will be something wrangling. And in those institutions, there are a certain group of people who surround the leader. And they are that group that come together to make decisions, to talk about the certain thing. Like the last time we saw here, when Costa came here, and Costa want to that they had that meeting with commies. Some of the people who you think are closer to JMB were not even aware of it. So it just had the institution.
So let me ask you guys here. This thing is getting more convoluted, and hearing everybody here now, and people here just spinning. And when we try to talk about it, you guys, your laugh with it, your thing is funny. Sissy yes, Sissy there is laughing. Every day there's some kind of drama to just kind of like it comes out in the public and everybody gets going nuts. What is the strategy? I really want to know. Maybe I'm not getting something because I've not had an opportunity to talk to them. Of lately, some of them have not talked to them as you know, completely. What is the strategy of the opposition going into this race?
I think
they want to give the president one term, which is.
Let me tell you what is going on now. Right now is such that we call it a hunter. In this case, where the hunter cannot take all of his shots on one animal. Right now, that's the game that is being played. What is happening? We know that the ruling party is financially stable or equipped to do anything to destabilize any other political party. So if you win now and start discussing all of your important event or issues that your plans are, what happened is that they are going to plant people within your organization to destroy all of your plans. So we are aware of these things. We are all politicians. We all play. We know the game that we can play when we want to win election. And we know what some of the things that we did to have Ellen elected. And with all of these things, and the CDC already know what they did. So having seen or known what we all play as politicians, we got to be very mindful of the next man move, because in playing chess, you have to watch the next man move. That's what is going on right now, because everybody is doing everything. In the little mistake, somebody else will capitalize on your mistake. And in a twinkle of an eye, the whole political system will change. And I'm telling you right now, anything can change anytime. And the thing that will change the anything, anytime can be based on how you throw yourself out there.
Who will lead that change before I go to Sissy? Anything can change anytime. Where is that change coming from?
It will depend on how you throw your issues out there. That's what I'm saying. So there are some things that just cannot be said publicly until the time is ripe to have done that. So we're not going to start hearing, oh, we're doing today, we're doing this, tomorrow we're doing that. We know people are already planted, even within even political parties. We have people planted there. So even if the CDC think that they have money and they have everything that they can override, we already also have people planted there that we can know what's going on and what's coming up.
Yes.
So the game is going on. Yeah, the game is being played. So
everybody have adapted the Russian style now. Sissy, what is the strategy here? Who is on a dangerous path here? With too much is just ongoing now. Is this campaign going to be based, or this conversation going to be based on substance, or we just want to see this sort of bittering, no concise message, but reassuring to electorate we will be the president, we will do this? What is the approach here?
So I think the first mistake is in the premise. I don't think we should continue to talk about various political parties as a group, the opposition, as if to say, there is just one party. There is not one party in the opposition. So I think that is the first mistake. We should be way beyond that. And the other thing is that no one political party, not even George Weah and the CDC, can win 50% plus one in the first one. It's not going to happen. And so to the extent that we know that's not going to happen, it hasn't happened in the most recent past history. And if we look at the anecdotal evidence with the CDC government being so unpopular to the point that they haven't even raised their hand of a single candidate in a legislative election without the people slapping their back down, even with all of the cash violence that my uncle, the ATM machine, opened up in Masorado County. By the way, y'all saw your clothes you have for the inaugural. Y'all saw and Tifa.
So I thought he's going to be your nephew too, or
no, my uncle, man, I kiss him, man.
Yeah,
my uncle in there. He and the mayor. I saw my uncle in there. But let me just digress a little bit. Y'all saw the plenty. I know that couple clothes and so forth. He said, but beyond that piece, right? My uncle, he's not here, America. I can talk about him again. When my other uncle go about, I'll talk about him. But to a serious point, though, the cash violence is shown that it hasn't been working. It hasn't worked lately. No. So what is going to happen is, I can tell you that in my belief, we're going to have either a president Tiawan Gonglo, or we're going to have a president Alexander Cummings, or we're going to have a president Joseph Boakai. There's going to be one of these people that's going to make it to the round two with George Weah. It's going to be guaranteed that George Weah and the CDC are going to go to round two. Now, where some of us stand is that, for me, my lot is with Tiawan. My lot, if Tiawan, God forbid, does not make it to round two, is with Cummings. If Cummings does not make it, is with Boakai. That is the reason, and I'll talk to my brother behind the scene. That's the reason some of us, when we're frustrated with this group, like Dr. Toto talked about, I stayed. Because I realized that when Tiawan Gonglo becomes president, he's going to have an education policy. I would be damned if my fingerprint is not on there, if I'm not in that room to have a discussion about that, on how we move our education system forward. That was the same reason I reached out to the ANC folks, that let's talk about your education plan. Let me tell you what I know. And I was rebuffed by, I won't say names on here, but somebody in the higher up, I guess people feel threatened. They decided they wanted me to give them a dissertation.
That could probably be the policy advisor to ANC.
And I'm reaching out to the Unity Party, because I don't have to be in government, but I have a love for education, and I have a passion for improving Liberia's education under either one of these presidents, President Tiawan Gonglo, President Alexander Benedict Cummings, or President Joseph Nyuma Boakai. And so I think where we stand as intellectuals is to make sure that we are making ourselves available so that we don't come back and people become presidents again. We have the same thing like the CDC, where people are just picking people from everywhere, don't even know how to run anything, don't have an idea of how to run anything, and they read this thing called PAPD that they haven't read at all. They just take it and throw it somewhere, and you know, now we're all suffering. So, you know, Dr. Toto will talk behind the scene. I understand the frustration, but we cannot, you know, I come on here and I push Jonathan and all these people, but I still talk to the ANC behind the scene. You know, I come out here and my sister and myself will go back and forth. I'm in almost every United Party chat room. I'm willing to give them what I know to help the country.
See the deep throats. We're hearing the deep throat.
Well, that's not deep throat. This is for Liberia. For me, it's Liberia first. That's how I see it. It's Liberia first.
Yeah. You know, let me just chip in a little bit. You know, try to contrast Quanto's in what she said about withholding information. You know, we had a workshop today at the community college that I teach. We have a leadership workshop. And one of the key things that I put on the workshop from the leadership perspective, when somebody get hired on the job newly, the person is a rookie. Are you going to give your important corporate information to that person because that person is a rookie? It's no. You know, but if you come from a political point of view, looking at quality, for me, I better get my information out, let the rookie receive it, and run with it, and even pass the message on the other person is going to campaign for me too. I'm not going to wait for my information for a rookie. Just with that out there.
But the information, rather, we're talking about, it's not a campaign message. It's about your financial stability, and that's what we're talking about. You see here, we're here to discuss the policy. And we're not highly information concerning policy. But if we say you highly information, then how you want for your campaign to go out there. But I'm talking about internal wrangling, internal stability. Those are things that you just don't shoot out there. It's like you and your husband, somebody stay there and they stay there right there. The woman is the best person to protect her home. If I start carrying my home problem in the street, then me, I'm destroying my home. So most of the things that you guys think are out there is not how it is. It has been settled in, and people just look at it out there somehow, but it's well settled in.
So you mean you can do Facebook Live about you and your husband fighting? You're not put on Facebook Live?
Me, I will go put my husband busy myself outside there. Come on, man. I can never do that.
That's full of trouble. So, let me tell you, you have Mr. George, you want to come in?
Yeah, I heard her saying that your financial thing, you can't put it out there. But we know in politics, you can look at institutions that got money, you try to sense this from distance. That is not, it's not him.
He come in.
In America, you will know. If the Democrat raising money, we know that they're raising money. We know the watcher will be announcing, they will tell, hey, we raised the amount. This is what we have. No, Republican can't take it from us. We can't take the one the Republican raised. We can't take it from them. So
you're saying that it took you 70,000.
Oh yes.
I'm not going share now.
I'm not going to share. The 7,000, the 7,000 the man store, any man is in police custody.
Yeah, but it's not coming back.
Listen now. Listen.
People are not get gold. I can't talk gold flower. When I get someone take case, so I'm putting my money there.
That's what the people are doing in the village. When you single, you don't talk woman. They don't allow you to sit down on a woman matter. Please. Oh. Yes. My uncle used to tell me. He said, my son, when you bachelor, don't bring bachelor in your home to talk a woman matter. Because the first thing I will say, that me, I can't take that one. So please, sister, you stay out of it. You don't got money. Dr. Toto, stay out of it. Madam Cotto, you're the one got the money. Let's talk the issue. The 70,000 was stolen. If you find pleasure in there, fine.
Where is Louis wrong?
Yeah, the United Party.
Because so you bad. The men trying to talk about it, just bring different things.
Yes, don't come to Robin Cotto the one start talking about 70,000. It was stolen. And we did the right thing. The man is in police custody. Hey, it's gone. But you will pay a price for it.
Real true confession, the man is gone. You can't. So you're not telling him to pay back?
No, the police. Hey, you can't. The police you got to take him to court. The court will make that decision. You can't tell the court what to say.
Since after the Saturday came, what became of former information minister? What became of Musa Bello?
Let me ask you another question.
I've been asking it. What became of these people? What is happening?
They are still in the party.
That man, that young man, that poor man would take that 700,000. He'll go lay down in one village.
The best for you because they've been in jail. Don't lay down one village.
That's what I say. Either he was not arrested, but that man had that money. He will be laying down where he wants to be arrested.
Oh, well, hey. Well, I don't know what you want. What you trying to insinuate? Everything that Louis or anybody talking, then tell us who can go after them.
But they know something about it. I'm not hiding it. I'm telling you, they know something about it.
You play for go music for the man. I'm supposed to tell you.
I'm not hiding it. I'm telling you it right now. I'm publicly saying that they know about that money.
Content that speculation. You got no proof. You got no.
Okay. All right. I ain't got proof. Sit on there. They know something about that money.
Koto cannot do like that.
What, Mr. Jerry? What is the Ambassador Brown? I gotta reach out to my man. I gotta reach out to my man. Where is Ambassador Brown? He was on fire.
Exactly.
You invited the man.
Take it from my mother.
You invited the last time you can invite him.
Yeah, I gotta.
The last time people were not inviting him, he was on fire. He was from place to place, jumping like some frog.
If Mr. Soul wants to invite Mr. Brown, he has his contact number. He can do it.
I gotta send
him. Let me ask my man question. I say, man, Koto, what kind of shit you ate today before coming on the show? You real on fire.
She said she was running to work. She said she was running to
work. Nothing. I came from work.
She came proud to now.
Yeah, she came ready to fight, but today I'm not. I ain't gonna make no photo woman. I don't make photo woman, so
you should be already fighting.
But since the woman want me plow, I try to run away. Still, she try to fuck. Just since you know, I mean.
So okay, we almost out of time. But guys,
what Mr. Brown? I just want to know where about. What is he doing now?
Mr. Brown is in Monrovia, and if you want Mr. We can ask Mr. Soul to invite Mr. Brown to come on to talk. But
they send Mr. Brown to Mr. Chair compound. Mr. Brown, Mr. Chair in the same compound now. They buy our compound.
So, but you want to talk? Try to bring Anthony Kessler here or George Lobo, or you can bring Ambassador.
I will bring Lobo. Don't worry, I will bring Lobo.
Come on, man. George Lobo, you don't have anything. He can't.
I said I will bring Lobo. You don't believe me?
So I was talking about money, and I'm glad, Koto, you say you don't have money. It's good. Because if you don't have money, you can't run a political institution.
I didn't tell you we have money, and I didn't tell you we don't have money. Yeah. So you put it out there.
Koto, all I'm saying,
when
you're having your fundraiser, let me know, because you said just on our Baka will come here, he will come to Georgia. This and that. I ain't Georgia, so I ain't got to.
You see, ANC, your party had stuff. You didn't go there. The Ambassador Boyka, when you want to
go. Georgia, didn't go there.
Mr. So, that one has on have telephone. Okay. So don't ask me the how they don't go there. That every part of
you guys. Maybe do you have Kezo? You get Kezo number, Dr. Toto?
Yeah, I got Kezo information. I will try to reach out to back to Kezo again. But Kezo wanted
you want
Dr. Toto just carry another dissertation, send it to the man.
Kezo said he need a detailed information, why he come here, why he do the same.
Can you ask him if he wants, I think that the same thing myself to doing.
You can hold on a topic.
I said, I said, but can I have a conversation? What you want to start praying for? So I said, but Chief, just to have a conversation to see, to hear from him. But you don't see the development, you don't see the road are going around the highway tomorrow. Oh my God. It ain't stay long. He said I should send something. I said, okay, it's fair to have an outline when you have a conversation. Usually that's what happened. But then he said no. He wanted a Sherman Brown type, that kind of Sherman Brown way to draw out the question. Like, how can I tell myself? Suppose there's a follow-up question. You want me to say, what is this? So when it needs clarification, then I can't ask that. No, we can't do. We can't work that one yet. But folks, before we go, the issue with this nascent fake diploma. It hit Rhode Island today. I can tell you.
They hit Georgia the other day, I think. They fired 3 people from the VA, yeah.
And we managed to talk to somebody. This is serious. And I was shocked. I haven't heard that. Maybe, and I'm trying to check. They said this thing happens a long time ago. Either the Chinese or the Russians. It's a similar thing happened in this country very long time ago. I really do not know the time. But the Haitians, there's a particular nursing home that I know. It's a complete network. Because I've talked to people. In fact, one of the people, they said they were doing a recruit. These messages have not been surfaced. They can find out, and I'm just going to flash it and move here. These are messages. This is 1920. This is recent, 2020.
So when you put that back there, real quick, the Jonathan, the Napoleon guy, that's on our post. I posted that stuff. Is one of the indictees, and he has already pled guilty to another charge. So chances are he's one of those people that's really now he's a witness against the other people. He pled guilty to another charge already.
Yeah,
that Napoleon guy that you saw the post over there about.
Two or three nurses already left, and in a conversation today, I was shocked. Say one of them, they don't even know. Everybody, they were wondering how this individual became a nurse, and when they can't even distinguish Tylenol from aspirin, and people were just doing their work. But then they were in this conversation, and people, you know the kind of networking, just how we share information. I know something, I talk to my friend, you talk to, oh man, guess what? There's one going on. That was what was going on. So it's more serious. 2 have abandoned their job. They're not showing face, and according to the source familiar with this, they have gone back. They left already. You know, like Rhode Island and other places. Just
so those people go and work to JFK and go hammer our people.
No, it will be hard. The thing is,
from business,
it looks like the way Firestone used to do. They say Firestone don't dismiss you, right? When the way they will put start laying digging foundation in front of your house. That's what happening. If you don't trust yourself, just start running. And we're seeing it already in places.
So Florida has filed this bill here.
Yeah.
It's a bill of particulars.
But yes, Mr. So I was wondering how long this young man had at school in Florida, because I understand you say he bought share in it, and I don't know what this scam was going on before, and he bought the share in it. So that was some of the things that I was sitting there. I tried to figure out what really going on, because how long he bought that share in that.
Why making it difficult? You see these messages coming. People are not cutting deals.
Mr. So, I mean, Mr. Josh, he had another entity first. That was a part of the scam. You know how it's almost like division of labor. They had these nursing homes. I mean, these nursing school and these other facilities. They had those, but he increased his share when he bought 50% of the nursing school. So he had another branch that was a part of the scam, but then he moved into the school part of the scam and bought 50% of the school. And he bought 50% of I think that was because they've been doing this thing since 2018. It was investigated in 2018 and 2020. So that's time to investigate.
How you not even know you're in Atlanta, Georgia? They get a hell of a mansion there. Why you don't know about it? They need to talk to you.
And the thing that got fired in Florida, Mr. So when we talked the first time, when we talked about the rate, on the second sheet of that rate, you see where they talk about they're going to be seeking asset forfeiture.
Right.
So they're just pushing what they said they were going to do. So now they're just identifying those assets and trying to make sure that they don't get liquidated before they go to court. They're not going to take those things from them until they're found guilty. But they're just marking them And you know, like how you would do freeze a bank account so they don't take the money from in it until the case is taken care of. So they just marking those assets and trying to make sure that those assets don't get liquidated. But man, I was surprised to see my boy house is worth $800,000. The one he live, I'm like, wow, my boy live large.
Even the one in Georgia is costly.
But when Mr. So, what you telling me? I'm living in Georgia.
I even said it, man. You didn't know that.
It's not my business to go start searching.
Georgia is noted for dubious thing. That's why the president was soliciting vote to kind of. I just need 10,000 votes. Are you kidding me? He won't be president.
No. Mr. Toto.
And what I'm saying, Georgia is a Republican area there, and I mean, they are come out already. They want it's like an ultimatum. They want these people to surrender.
I told you,
diplomats.
On the local news, 3 nurses at the VA, local VA here, they had already terminated them. They had 3 of them working at the local VA here. They already terminated them. So, whether more will come from Georgia, I don't know, but the 3, they said they had 3 at the local VA here. They terminated them already.
Wow.
So, but it's one of those things. The only thing I can say, I just want to see the outcome of the case here, because the government will come down high. As Cecil was saying, all the assets, and they want to make sure they put a siege on it so nobody can liquidate them, can sell it. So these are all the things they're doing now that the case can go forward.
But before fair, even to put these things there in place and everything, not tightening, this is been a long time thing. The mob that they planted, the people they can't, they don't just easily come by. They make sure they have enough.
Mr. So
the investigation, even it's just not these few days. This investigation has been going on for like a year plus now. It's just not now. That's why he had to close the other school down and then migrate to the other one.
Mr. So
and the thing is, we're taking it for a joke, but there are a lot of schools that are involved in it. Sometimes some of us even get scared of what it is up to be.
Let me just share.
Other than that, it will be a scary thing,
Yes, let me just share.
Other schools that we don't even know about right now, his kind have spread up in these schools.
Especially, let me just share. For me, being a college professor from the community college level now, not a big school, but a community college. If you go into class, you teach students, most especially I think since they go through a training too. When they talk about plagiarism, how they tell us to be very strong on it, because that's where we're going to talk about integrity, about students. We play everything on it very hard, and like one of my students some time ago, she from Brazil, she speaks Portuguese, and certain time ago she did her business case homework, and there was a little bit of plagiarism, where and I didn't want to take it serious, because I wanted to side with her, from where she came from. But the end of the day, I had to do about due diligence on myself. I had to report it, and the school came very hard on her for that. So when it comes to the case we're talking right now, for student, initially I was a little bit insympathetic with our guy, because we all for the sea country Liberia, want for people to be successful in the country. But when I saw doing some good diligent report on myself to go in depth to see so much that happen, I feel so discouraged, especially the girl that I know from Delaware now become, I don't want to use the word victim, because people say I shouldn't say she's a victim. But from my conversation I had with her, I got so vexed with her. I said, you graduated from Cottington. You came in this country here. And why will you try to take that role? Because of bad influence. And she cried. She cried. The poor saying that type of situation. So I just give it on this guy, I did expect him to treat the people that they are.
No,
There's a greater and bigger portion in this thing we are talking about here. Look, and it's dangerous. You're dealing with government. You're dealing with people already being inflicted. Think about it. You are a nurse before. You took a car. You're getting into expenses based on your standard, your income.
Exactly.
You get a mortgage to pay. You get into other things, and all of a sudden, overnight, and everything is just cut off. How you manage? How you going to deal with it?
See, just today we were discussing issues like that.
I was sound horrible.
People have taken like cars and horses based on their income.
Yeah,
I will sound horrible.
To be frank,
I will sound horrible.
Oh boy, can we close because I don't want him to sound horrible.
You know, don't tell me say people are taking they take mortgage, their income, this and that.
Not that they're good. We're not saying that was good, but I'm saying that that's the effect they're having.
The pay quarter, yes, the thing that'll all be real. This is something that people knowingly, intentionally went and did.
No, it's a
not knowingly. I'm telling you, some of them did not know.
Says
look,
Koto.
No, I agree with Koto. Based on the story,
some of them did not know.
They didn't know. You know how people brainwash people.
Especially George, the president talking about, you know, she didn't.
Your staff finding the fancy excuse for the people.
It's not fancy excuse. You're not even people that we talk with.
Can I say something?
We talk with.
I think though. I think because I've been reading the stuff. It was not everybody that went to the school that's going to be affected. That's going to be persecuted. There are some people who knowingly bought their way out. Those people will be prosecuted and their licenses will be questioned. Now, on the other hand, most of these schools were accredited. And so if there were some students in there who actually did the work, and when they were passed, I think those people will get their licenses back.
That's why
the problem is for me, those people, if I'm in a school, right? I'm in a school with a bunch of people, and there's a bunch of people buying grades. Like, let's take Liberia, for example. A lot of people go buy the WIAC test. I remember when I was in 12th grade, they said we'll go on camp. They buy the WIAC test. I didn't have money to pay. They put I'm not going on camp with them. The whole time on their WIAC test. Then the funny thing, we go to the WIAC test now. They go camp. They didn't know it. Then they come to me and ask me for answer. I say, all of y'all give me that same money. Y'all get it to go to the WIAC test. But so just imagine if they decide to disqualify my entire school because people bought a WIAC test. I would be pissed because I did not participate in it. I went and took my test, but my school, people in my school bought the test. So I get where I think Koto is trying to come from and other stuff. But for me, if somebody willingly took a shortcut, if you knew it, knowingly pay $15,000 for that, I think shame on you. But would there be some people who were caught unknowingly in this thing? Yeah, there will be some people who. And again, I want to be very fair because listening to Mr. George, Dr. Tutu, I know that there are people who come in this country and they get people who influence them the wrong way because they are new to the country. People give them wrong information. I get it. But I just want to say we can't minimize it because there are people's life at risk. But I also do understand that there are some people who will get caught up in this thing that had no idea what was happening.
That's what I'm about. That's the point, and that's what I agree with. Mr. Joy, you're coming 1 minute. 1 second. And that's what I agree. I was one of those here, and I say I agree with Koto based on just what I gathered today, because people brainwash people, and there's a nursing home right now in Rhode Island, right? 2 persons, and this person here is they are all shocked. In fact, they already left after the whole thing buzzed down. They're not showing out, simply because this person was introduced to a friend and said, "Oh, don't worry, this so." I mean, people looking for shortcut, and did that. Okay, did she do herself favor by not asking all of the question? But they said this person has been on this floor. I'm telling you seriously, I don't like to just make up something.
Yeah.
Now they were doing stuff that everything was being dumped on, people that are working as a CNA. But the idea, she had all her batches, but just have no idea, never attended anything, and it looked like just pay this money here and been working years on this kind of stuff. Now all of a sudden, they crash came, not showing up. Now, I mean, apparently maybe even left, going back to whatever. You see it? So it's like there are some people who knows about it very well. And in fact, what they were doing is story is getting much deeper and deeper. I come to Amos Joyce. All right. I say, hey, Amos, this is what's going on. The 15G, when I bring you in, 5 come to me. 10 is being reported. That was a sort of network business pattern, a kind of a conspiracy or sort of a crime that, because that's a crime.
I agree with everybody. Most of the things you're saying here. But every time you go to a country, when you leave your country of birth, you go to another country, you have to know, you got to start learning that system. You have to start learning that system because people will play on people.
Good night, my people.
People will play on people. And for people, this kind of thing, for
I don't know what
you don't have to bother. We'll do that for you to go sit down all day and work. You got to think twice. You got to think twice to say, hey.
I don't know.
Some people never consulted other people to say, hey, do you know about this thing here? No, they kept it too. Because they said they want to capitalize on, so they kept it. They never asked some people who have been here for a long time and say, hey, my man, my girl, do you know about so thing? No. They kept it to themselves.
And George, that's a very good point you raised. Let me just share a little bit about my experience. When I came to the country, I was a senior student in the university in Nigeria. When they had one semester to graduate. When I came to this country, I wanted to go. I was so hungry to go to school. I didn't know the system that well. So I just thought I went to the school and they said I should do SAT. And with what the experience I had, and I reached out to talk to somebody. I said, well, you already been college back home. Why you want to go sit for SAT test or whatsoever? Just tell the people what it is. In fact, this guy was a Nigerian guy. You know, people always get like respect about Nigeria whatsoever. And I reached out to him. And he was able to guide me through the right path. We went through the school. So you don't need to do SAT test. Just take your credential. They have people like evaluate it.
Evaluate the grades.
You go through the evaluate, and then they will pair you with American standard. And you'll be able to go to school. Well, if you say you want to go to SAT, my boy, you're not passing, you're not getting admission. Because from where you come from. So sometimes it's good, you know, they take the blame. I agree with 100%, you know, about what they did, they went through it, you know, they bear the consequence.
Okay, guys.
At the end of the day, should be here accountable. He's the highest person that brought the kindness on his people. He should be here accountable.
Well, we just saying, for me, I would say, yeah, for me, I all have said I want to see the thing play out because that school, the other people who got that school share what bought from them. I want to see what this people testimony when they cross, what will be looking like, because if he bought a share in a school and that institute being existing, is it just something that they introduced to that school, or the school before buying that share have been doing something like that? So
but that does not help change anything about his guilt or innocence.
No.
Yeah,
it doesn't change what I'm doing. What I'm saying here, it's like, okay, like let's say you got a school. I come and buy a share in the school. Maybe you are doing something and I can't buy a share. I say, hey, this is why I'm doing it. I say, oh, I'm interested.
Lives been put at risk. That's the bigger picture they are
that's
looking
what
at
I'm
here.
saying. Another thing I'm looking at, when they took over this school, they were doing something and introduce it into that school.
It doesn't matter.
They were doing something on the side and another thing, and the school was a part of the network. He just bought more share into the graft, but anyway, the place supposed to read before more open. It was soon read that, and when it get Speedy recovery to Dr. Taranka. I wish you well, my sister. We hope you get well and come back.
That Dr. Taranka.
So when school read to the right place, more open.
Yeah, the school will be there.
The other guy, I never see Lama Melody.
And he doesn't say I force you. I don't want you to say I force a person. Now, what Prince George said, I never see no rule on my boss.
But Mr. So, when you stay in the food, your mouth can just be open. You can stay the food, your mouth still closed. When you listen, there's certain place spoon can read, more open. The spoon not read to that place. And the US government more open.
Yeah, I mean, these are something that if I close this email, I'll just say, you know, I don't have also so look at the clock. But the close door, you know, but I think there's a learning curve for most of our young people that come in this country here. You know, that really desire to want to change their life, maybe through some white education. There's a learning process for them. There's no shortcut in this country here. You know, you want to be successful, you have to climb a ladder. You know, some of all, that's why we have our in community affair, you know, where we have our Liberian community, we build it up. In that party, even you know, we provide other services in this organization, especially like OIM, in relation to the president last time on the show, yeah, the type of services.
We're running for re-election, OLM.
Yeah, you know, they provide all these services in our rural community. If you go in the Hispanic community, they provide services. So these are things that we should try to evolve in to provide services to our people in this country. Instead of they come in this country, they get caught up in the wrong area, and when this standard break up, it actually affecting the entire community as a whole. You know,
man, the country when you miss your exit, man, forget it. You gotta put more gas in your car because you can't turn around right there. You gotta go around your car.
Yeah,
guys, I don't know why. I don't know. You know, we all human beings, but
yeah. And then we tell some people identify the community. Oh, how many people in our community? You're gossip. You know, yeah.
My photo there, and he say, "Yo, you're good now. I gotta go."
People say, "Oh, you're gossip too." But this community provide good social services. Yeah, you know, this community provide good social services for people in our community. You know, people should take advantage of the rural Liberian community, the type of services they provide, you know, to help some people get on the right path. You know, and then when it comes to the political party in Liberia, as we are discussing also, I'm worried the way in which our rural opposition political party training. If that President William will have a free walk to the presidency, it would not be good for a second term.
Well,
don't worry until your pressure go all that. Oh.
Yeah, that's what I can tell you. The political season will get heat.
All of them are the same people. All right, guys.
You know, every day
before we go,
I look at Liberia, then I go to Nigeria. I've been following that election. They were talking about right now.
You don't need to move to Nigeria now because you look at Nigeria really.
But Mr. So, Nigeria, Liberia, what other country? Like the three countries that are having election this year. And
all right.
But Liberia, the politics will get heated up. And the one thing I can say, so many people who say they got political party, they just there to hustle. Because you get a political party, nobody can see you around. They can't see you anywhere.
Walking by line. See Nigerian politicians, people walking by line whole day sweating their Christmas goat.
The other day they had
your party office on your arm.
So the other day Atiku then had a rally in one state. The boy now they had 71 airplanes, 71 jet flew into for that rally. They said the airport couldn't take all the jet. But I want other people. That's how. So I mean, but this is the thing I'm talking. The red people are seeing more in Liberia, the political people who opposition. I can say maybe 3 or 4. Boakai, Tewa Conclo, as the coming, then they want the party. But all the other people, they just hustling in the honor. So because you everybody, the guy, moreover, is to pay all the political party. So many political, they got no offices in 2-3 countries in Liberia. They just did that all political parties will go hustle.
9,000 people coming. Well, I want to call Kim tomorrow. Let's see if we see 9,000 people.
Their offices right under their arms.
You get it. Walking by the time you see what people open their grave. They show you the only the letter here ready. You can see. You can see the money be.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Bye. You're good.
That the monument just launched a small political party. Then
Okay, good night. We'll see you guys.
You say people want to live on past glory. Guys, thank you so much. We're going to be back here by the grace of God on Friday.
Okay.
All right.
good night, Koto.
Good night, guys.
Okay,
Guys, yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Koto, go and eat. Don't be running to camp. Go and eat.
That's true. I'm hungry.
Jonathan said you'll do it on Friday. So get ready.
Oh, don't mind. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. All right, folks. Thank you so much and have a pleasant night. That's how we're going to call it. Do you hear this evening? Bye-bye.